Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Uncle Bruce here from Creston, British Columbia in Canada. Welcome to Stock Markets with Bruce, the most unexciting show on YouTube. How's it going, everybody? Nice to see you this morning.
Welcome to Stock Markets with Bruce.
Let me mute myself here. You don't need to hear me twice. Welcome to the show this morning. It is April the 21st. It's Wednesday, April the 21st. I say cheers to all of you around the world who are watching this YouTuber from Canada right now. Nice to see you here. Thank you for all your support of this channel. Thank you for becoming and renewing your memberships on this channel. You guys are beautiful. I love you. Jen cannot believe it. You mean? She says they're renewing for another month. What are they, nuts? Yes, they are, I say. And they're wonderful. They're just wonderful, crazy people like we are. And they're hanging out with Uncle Bruce for another round of fun till Daddy takes the T-Bird away. Kids, another day is coming our way here in the markets. The question on everyone's mind is, am I getting richer today or not? And if I am, by how much? Those are simple questions. And I try to answer them in a simple, straightforward, plain English kind of way, while I try to get the gunk off of my glasses so I can see myself on the screen in front of me. Although, you know what? I have to say, if I look at myself, like I can see myself right here. The camera, the lens is right there. I'm pointing at the lens right there. But I see myself just below the lens. And when I look at myself without my glasses on, everything looks great. And then I do this and I go, oh, look at all the flaws this guy has. So what can I say? I have to pay the price because I have to look at myself more than you do. You guys can just listen to my voice and look away, and you'll be fine. What is going to happen with the markets is everyone's question right now. How are we doing? How is it coming together? I've been watching the pre-markets, trying to figure out what's going on, and wanting to know whether they're going to be good or bad or indifferent or what have you. The Dow pre-market now is down 33 points, and that's nothing to be worried about. I'm quite happy with that, actually, compared to yesterday's crappy close. The S&P is down 6.8, no problem, and the Nasdaq is only down 50 points on the pre-market. The stocks that are not having a good time right now. The number one stock that's not having a good time is Netflix. Have you seen what happened to Netflix last night? Those of you who don't know, a lot of public companies will release their financial results, their current quarter or their year end, whatever it is, right after the market bell. So just after, I guess, 4 o'clock Eastern time, whenever the markets close up for the day, they will then, within the next 15 minutes, release their latest financials. And in the case of Netflix, they released their financials and they beat on the top line, which meant that they brought in more money than analysts thought they'd bring in gross. They beat on the bottom line, which means they made more money net profit after all expenses and taxes than analysts had predicted. And so right there, you're going, oh, wow, that's fantastic. Way to go. Way to go, Netflix. Hey, beautiful. Nice job. This should be good for the stock, shouldn't it? Yes, it should. Except then they came out with their other little number, and that other little number they came out with was the number of subscribers that they added to their fold in the last quarter, and it was the slowest quarter in years. It was about 1 million new subscribers instead of the expected 4 million. And they did not deliver on new subscriptions. But I can tell you why they didn't deliver on new subscriptions. It wasn't because we don't like the service or anything like that. That isn't the problem with Netflix. What the problem is that they raised their prices. Last quarter, they jacked up their rate, and they're charging more money per month than before. And I think a lot of people said, screw you, we're not paying it. And people dumped off. And my hunch is that they actually added 4 or 5 million new subscribers. Yeah, they did, but they lost 3 or 4 million subscribers as well. And that is not being openly discussed, but the stock is reflecting that. And therein lies the the little surprise. Let me just double check here on how it's doing. I think Netflix, NFL, what was it, X? Is it Net? Yeah, NFL X Netflix. It closed last night at the end of the day at 549.57. That was the last trade. Right now in the pre-market, $499. We're down a happy $50 bill. Who's the president on a $50 bill? Is it Grant? Yeah, it's Grant, right? The President Grant. So the Netflix stock is down a Grant today. One big old $50 bill. Zzz is what we reach. We call that in the old brokerage business. Zzz, a little. Hi, how are you? We just down 10% right there, like that. Boom. That's a little wake up call. And of course, what does the company do? They're trying to find a way to negate the drop. They're trying to find a way to convince the street, we're going to make it better. And for shareholders, what they're doing is they're announcing a $5 billion stock buyback. That's what they're announcing, which to me sets off alarm bells. I don't like it when companies announce stock buybacks when they're trying to maintain their high-priced stock. Because here's the reality of the situation. The company's shares yesterday at 549 were trading at 90 times earnings. I don't want a company that I'm a shareholder in buying its own stock back when they're trading at 90 times earnings. I want a company to buy its own stock back when it's trading at 9 times earnings or 11 times earnings, and the company feels they should be at 20 times earnings or 15 times earnings. I don't like to see a company putting $5 billion into their own paper when it's at 90 times earnings. That is a problem for me. It is an alarm bell for investors that you should understand. And again, this is Bruce in plain English trying to explain how the market works. When you buy stock in a public company, you only have certain pieces of information that are available to you, although with respect, you get a lot more information about a public company than you would about a private company, obviously. And in the case of a public company like Netflix, you can see that just looking at the stock here, it's been as low as $393 in the last year, as high as $593, a $200 range. That's nothing unbelievably unbelievable. This is again a not a volatile stock, but it can move. We have had a pandemic in the last year. Let's cut them a break. Their market cap is $243 billion as of last night's close. It's less than that now, down by about 10%. They have the 90-time PE multiple. They had earnings of 608 a share. They have a very small short interest. And so, okay, there you have it. So all on the surface, the company makes money, number one. They are growing subscribers, number two. They're creating their own merchandise product sort of thing. But they have, in the last year or so, I believe, gone a little too far with price increases. And it's catching up to them now. And I think investors are sitting back going, and viewers, I guess, customers. Let me talk about the customers of Netflix. Customers of Netflix in the last year have had a lot happen to them. How many of you are stuck at home? We're all stuck at home. How many of us are now spending more time on our couch in our living room, looking for stuff to do? Well, many of us, much more. And so what are we doing? Well, many of us are subscribing to Netflix in the last year or so. A lot of new folks have subscribed to Netflix all last year until this past quarter. Watching more television. We're getting Amazon Prime, Disney, Hulu, Roku, all these streaming services that some of you are really into. Netflix has been around a while, obviously, and they've been bumping their numbers. And I think what they've been doing is trying to bump their numbers, produce more in-house product, which means they're buying less merchandise from outside entities. Have you noticed in the last year or so, 2 years or so, that you can't find as many titles on Netflix like you used to? Movies that used to always be available to you, or the Hollywood releases, not as many. Of course, Hollywood in the last year has held back releases, as we know. Even the Bond film is still not out. It was supposed to be out, I think, last October, and this is April. It's still not out. So there's a lot of content not coming out, and yet Netflix raised their rates during a pandemic, which I think was a PR disaster. They bumped their prices in the middle of a pandemic rather than say to the market, we feel your pain, we're with you, you're with us, we're together, we're not going to raise our prices this year. We really appreciate your business, because they should have been happy. They should have been happy getting 5 million subscribers a quarter added to their service. I think you make more money with more customers. But the bankers in Wall Street are relentless, and they keep pushing these companies to make more money, make more money, make more money. We want to see more growth, earnings per share, make more money. And so Netflix caved in to, I think, outside pressures, raised their rates, and it's now getting them. And in Canada, as I mentioned last night on last night's show, here in Canada, we got a triple whammy in this household. First, we found out that Netflix was raising their prices. Then we found out that the British Columbia government is now charging a sales tax on the services of Netflix. They are getting in on this business. And then we heard 2 days ago the federal government here in Canada with their new budget, which is just introduced by the finance minister, and it's now going to be the new law within the next 90 days. They've now decided to slap a tax on Netflix as well. Again, we pay. I will pay a tax, a federal tax, a provincial tax, and an increased cost on Netflix. So now all of a sudden, Netflix per month just went up like $4 a month. It's gone up too much. And I'm asking myself, why do I have it? Why have I got Netflix? Do I really want to pay this kind of money to have it? And I mean, Jennifer and I are constantly looking at each other going, what do you think? Now, in my case, I'm an outlier because I'm in front of my computer with you for 5 hours a day on this channel live. Then I do my other channel, and I do all my other work that I try to stay up on with respect to this channel. So I don't have the time to sit and watch the Netflix that I should be watching for what I'm paying for it. And I'm realizing, Bruce, you're only watching Netflix like maybe an hour a day, 2 hours in a day. You might get maybe 10 hours a week of Netflix time. That's it. That's all you're getting. What are you paying for this? What's it costing you for this? And there comes a point in time where you say to yourself, I'm cutting this thing. Now, a lot of us in Canada, and I'm sure in the US, a lot of you are cutting the cable cord. You're cutting cable television right out of your lives. Jennifer and I are getting closer and closer to that all the time. It is getting closer to us where we're beginning to think, geez, we might have to, we might cut the cable on this thing, because it's ridiculously expensive. And it's just full of commercials, and it just is full of hate and anger and frustration. And I'm just going, why am I doing this to myself? If I were 25 or 35 years old and it was 1975, 1980, 85, you couldn't tear the cable away from me, because it was the only source of info I had. As news channels came on, we were eager to eat it up because we didn't have the internet we have now. But in any event, our tastes are changing and evolving, obviously. Anyway, Netflix, 502 right now, down substantially, and they're getting whacked. And I don't think it's a good idea that they're buying stock. I think the $5 billion is telling me you have too much money, you have too much, or you're making too much, or you're not delivering the goods, which is the product I want, really, why don't you just pay a dividend to your shareholders and reward them for holding your paper? But you're not. You're not going to do it. You're basically not paying a dividend at all, and you're going to just buy the stock back, which tells me, of course, senior management of Netflix doesn't own the company. There is no one dominant owner of the family that runs it. It's a management team that runs the company. They're paid stock options. They just got whacked personally by 10%. Their stock options are probably upside down right now, or not as valuable as they were, obviously. And so they want to negate that by engineering the market higher by trying to buy back stock. Do what you got to do, guys. Good luck to you. There are 441 million shares outstanding. A $5 billion buyback is only 2% of the amount of stock outstanding as of last night's close. So, it's not going to make a huge hill of bean difference. If they cannot increase their subscriber counts going forward like they had in the past, this stock will go lower. And it should go lower because it shouldn't be trading at 90 times earnings. The stock is triple what it should be. It should be about 175, maybe 185, maybe 200 a share. That's where it should be. It's overpriced by $300 a share. It was overpriced by 350 as of last night. But again, Wall Street and some analysts out there believe, oh, no, it's okay. These guys can systematically every year bump their prices. They can bump them up by 5-8% every year. And within 5 years from now, the company will be trading at 40 times earnings, and the stock will still be 600-800 a share or better. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if that's really going to happen. Netflix you might watch Netflix take someone over to buy up competition. Wouldn't that be interesting if they bought another streaming company and just absorb them to eliminate competition or just make it in-house? I don't know. We'll see how this all plays out. Anyway, that's the story on Netflix. We'll watch for that going forward. The Dow right now is showing down 50 points, S&P down 860, NASDAQ down 54. On GameStop this morning, the shares are 159.22 on the pre-market. They've been between 159 and 161-ish all morning. Volume, 38,000 shares. Nothing is going on. Nothing's going on in that regard. News on GameStop. Just read an article about Sherman, the departing CEO, and how the departure has been a negotiated departure, from whatever I'm reading, that it has been amicable. But the reality is that Mr. Sherman, because he's volunteering to, I guess voluntarily leaving, without putting up too much of a fight, is being paid out by the board of directors. And this is common to negotiate this kind of deal. The deal is that he is going to be able to, in effect, walk out the door with stock in his hand that is vested. In other words, is earned stock that he can do whatever he wants with. And it is likely that his stock is worth almost $200 million when he walks out the door. And I should actually clarify this. I will clarify this. The article I read talking about it, an analyst was saying, oh, it looks like in the last year of his employment, he'll have earned $178 million, which is one of the highest payouts of any CEO in the world. Okay. But in reality, it's a severance package, and it's a severance deal in that the company is saying, leaving the company, you're leaving behind $100 million worth of stock that you're not going to get because you didn't hit certain parameters. We talked about that a few days ago. But in lieu of that, and in lieu of you leaving early and not putting up a squawk with us, we'll let you walk out the door with your stock in hand. And I think he's going to walk out the door with over 2 million shares owned in the company. And that means he's walking out the door with over $300 million of stock. I believe that's the number, of which 178 is going to be vested to him immediately. In other words, when he leaves, as a negotiated deal. Now, keep in mind, folks, that if he were to go ahead and sell the stock at stock ranks on 160 a share, so if he sold his couple million shares, which will not affect the market whatsoever, by the way, he would be out. The government of the United States and the state in which he lives will reap a wonderful capital gain from him, and likely it won't even be a capital gain. It'll likely be an employment taxation, because he earned the stock in lieu of salary. So in effect, any gain he has on the stock, and I would imagine the stock, it's 100% gain because it would have been just given to him as performance or as in lieu of salary over the years, I guess. He'll have to pay upwards of 35% tax on whatever he sells. He will not be under any obligation, I don't think, to sell any of it at any time. He can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. And so if he wants to sell, some stock this year and some next year, he can go right ahead and do so. He'll have to deal with the taxation matters on his own, but that's life, and welcome to the real world. But for the company, it makes no difference. For you as shareholders, it will make no difference. It's just good print. If you're you want to stir up the pot a little bit as a writer, well, here's a juicy story for you. Here's a guy getting all this money and he's walking out the door and he hasn't done anything for the company. Okay, great. If that's the angle you want to take. Mr. Sherman has done a number of things for GameStop, and keep in mind when he was hired, and when he was searched out, and when he was convinced to come on over here from where he was in effect taking over a failing brick and mortar company. He was supposed to turn it around, and he was in the middle of doing that when a pandemic broke out. He was one of many CEOs, thousands of CEOs of publicly traded companies, who found themselves in the middle of a virus that they had no idea was going to come their way and upset the entire apple cart for everybody. The really good thing he did is what he didn't do. And again, this is where it's hard to credit him. And the street that hates GameStop is not going to credit him. But what he did not do is he did not dilute his shareholders to keep the company alive. He didn't do that. He maintained the 70 million shares outstanding. He cut costs. He lowered inventory levels. He figured out ways to keep his businesses operating, even though the stores were closed. He figured out a way to keep the operations going by having curbside pickup, having staff in the stores without the doors open, and fulfilling orders from online to allow curbside pickup. A very good thing. And the gamers out there who wanted to acquire merchandise from GameStop could still do it by ordering online and driving by their local store. They would be told by GameStop, pop by the store at this shopping mall and we'll have the merchandise for you. And he was also aware and became aware of a Mr. Ryan Cohen, and met with Mr. Cohen and went and gave, the two of them put their heads together and figured out there is a future for this company above and beyond the future that Mr. Sherman had been told to create. He had been given instructions by his board of directors what to do and how to do it. And now he is shifting this over to Mr. Cohen, which is a complete shift of management. And Mr. Sherman will leave the company in a very good financial position. For his pride and his personal self of accomplishment, he may feel that he wasn't able to deliver on the final result that he wanted to deliver, but the world has changed dramatically in the last year, and he had nothing to do with it. It's a virus that changed the world, not his management style that changed the world. And so he exits by this summer. He will stay on the board of directors, I'm told, in an advisory role. He's not going to be paid for his advisory role. And so I think my guess is that he will gracefully step aside, allow the new guys and kids to come on in. He'll be there for as long as he's needed. He'll then slowly exit. He may become a retired individual, or he might just become a consultant for hire for other companies for whatever they need, if that's what he wants to do. But in reality, does he need a job anymore? No, he does not. He can live off of his $300 million of stock, and that's assuming the shares stay at $160 a share. What if, just suppose, the shares go to $1,000 a share, and he's sitting on $2 million? The guy will never have to work ever again, of course. And so, well done to everyone. Well done by GameStop. Well done by management of GameStop. Well done by Mr. Sherman. And well done for all of you shareholders of GameStop. There is no controversy and there is no ugly divorce situation happening here. GameStop does not have to spend millions in legal fees, or Mr. Sherman spending millions in legal fees to part company. It's amicable, it's working out, and it's all good. And we can turn the page and move forward. And for those of you who are GameStop shareholders or thinking of becoming GameStop shareholders or wondering if you should, the news coming up will be the new CEO. We're waiting for that. And the first quarter financial reports. We're waiting for that. That should be out by about the end of May. And so we're only about 5 weeks away. And we're now, 9 days away from the end of the first quarter. End of April is the end of the first quarter. By the end of May, we should have the numbers. And it's already been indicated to us as of a month ago, roughly, about a month ago already, yeah, 19th of March and March 22nd, 23rd, so about a month ago, we found out that the first quarter numbers are higher than last year already for the first and second month of the first quarter of the year. So good sounding numbers there, good sounding momentum, and the company is rapidly evolving into an e-commerce player. So, okay, we'll watch for that, see what's going on. I wanted to tell you a little story because I know how you love my stories. I got a little story for you. We got 35 minutes to go before we open up, and this is just a little thing that happened yesterday here in Creston, and I thought I'd give you folks just a little taste of life with Uncle Bruce and Jen. After our two shows yesterday, when I left you last, Jennifer and I needed to get out of the house to get to the mailboxes, get to our post office. And we wanted to go to our local Tim Hortons for our little coffee and a little nosh, and so off we went, and went to the two mail centers. The mailbox that I have for this house is just a group of mailboxes a couple blocks away. We just drive to them. They across the street from a little park, and you put your key in the box and see what you got. We did that, and then we drove to the post office. We only have one main post office in downtown Creston. It's been there many years, and I have a post office box there, which I promote here on the show. Any of you would like to send us something in the mail, here's the post office box, 941 Creston, British Columbia. I went there yesterday and went in and checked my box, and in the box was a little bit of junk mail and a greeting card, and so I was happy to grab those. And I had to mail something yesterday, so I went back to the counter. But on the way to the counter, I go through kind of the lobby area, and in the lobby area is a waste paper basket, a couple of containers, and that's where the junk mail always goes. I come around the corner, I take a look, and there's no garbage bucket there. I'm looking around, where's the garbage bucket? There's a sign on the wall, due to COVID. No more garbage collection. I'm going, due to COVID? What the hell has COVID got to do with me dumping off junk mail that you guys are slapping me with all the time? What the hell is going on? Instantly, my blood pressure went up. The old man blood pressure kicked in. I was really upset. Not like vehemently, but I just kind of went, this is another excuse for a corporation, which is the federal government's post office thing, to cut back. And I thought, well, this is crap, because every day I get junk mail. How many of you get junk mail all the time? It's just ridiculous. And they know we get it. They know they're the ones stuffing it into our slots. I mean, they're the ones handling it. And what am I supposed to do with it now? And I thought to myself, I was wondering to myself, what if tomorrow when I come in here, if I come in here, like the post office access to me for my post office box is kind of like, I don't know, 18 hours a day. I could come in here at 6 at night when everything's shut down. I can go into the post office box area, and I can open up and I can see my little thing there. If I take out everything that's mine and there's junk left, what if I just shove the junk back into the floor of the post office and just say, here, it's yours. You didn't know I dumped that off unless they got cameras on the box from the back end. Then you can see I did it. But I'm thinking, I'm almost of that radical kind of mindset to go, up yours. You're not letting me dump the garbage off in a garbage can here. Well, I'm just going to shove it back into your post office and you deal with it, because you don't know whose it is now because it's on the floor, unless you want to watch the tape. Anyway, that was the first thought I had in my mind. Terrible, isn't it? Just terrible. Radical. What a guy from the 50s. Ooh, he's radical. So number two, I go to the counter at the post office. I get to the counter and want to mail my package. And so I do that, and everything's fine. Everything looked after. I pay for everything. And I said, oh, by the way, I'm holding up this junk mail. I said, I noticed that the garbage cans have been removed. Where's the nearest garbage can now that I can use to throw this away? And the two gals behind the counter are not responsible for this policy. They're just following orders. It's not their fault. And I'm very polite and I'm very respectful. And they said, yeah, I know. We really don't know. I mean, and one of the gals goes, you might have to take it home with you and put it in your garbage at home, I guess. I go, well, okay, well, Okay, well, thanks. You guys have a great day. We'll see you later. And off I go. I go out the door of the post office, and right outside the front of the post office, right on the sidewalk, is a garbage can from the town of Creston. There's a town of Creston garbage can. I look in there. It is full of junk mail. I just added mine in there, and I thought, oh, the poor city worker. The city worker is going to come over here and take this bag home into a truck later today. This is like a 50-pound bag of garbage because of all the junk mail the post office now won't accept that they're giving us. It is just, but that's not the story I wanted to tell you. That's just a little side note, a little starter to the day. And it's a COVID kind of story, because they're blaming COVID for not taking our garbage, which just, what is the junk mail covered in COVID germs? Why are you giving it to me then? Like, why am I having to handle it? Why is junk mail even being allowed in the middle of a pandemic if it's theoretically going to spread the virus? I do not understand any of this mentality other than it's a cost-saving measure, and that's all it is. Anyway, back in the car I get with Jennifer, and we now want to go to our local Tim Hortons, and we drive to the other end of town, and we get to our Timmy's, and we pull into the parking lot and get through the lane, and we're in the drive-through lane. There's no cars. I'm going, wow, this is a rarity, because usually there's one or two pickup trucks waiting, or sometimes there's 15. We're like number 15 in a row, but nothing. Oh, great! So we drive right up to the order window, where the speaker is, and there's paper taped over the speaker. I'm going, oh wow, what's wrong with that? I look at it, and it's due to COVID. Due to COVID, we're having employment issues. We had to close early today. And I went, oh my God, I can't believe it. The number one takeout place in Creston is the Tim Hortons. It is the busiest takeout spot in town by far. I mean, everyone working in town pops in there for a coffee or grabs a breakfast thing or a lunch thing. This is 2:30 in the afternoon, closed. The entire Timmy's is shut down because, first of all, you can't go into the Tim Hortons anyway. No restaurant, because in British Columbia, all restaurants are shut down as far as seating goes. So only the drive-through is open. And this one, they can't staff a Tim Hortons with enough staff to keep the drive-through going. And I went, oh my God, this is really something around here. Really shocking. So, wow. When I talked to you guys about the virus counts are way up in Canada, and we hear about different rumors about what's going on, this is the first time it's actually affected me, in a very small way. Obviously, I mean, is my life over because I couldn't get a Tim Hortons coffee? Of course not. But something in my mind, something as simple as a drive-through of a donut shop, Tim Hortons Donuts. I was thinking then, I was wondering, well, how many employees do they need in there to run the store? As a retailer, as an ex-retailer, and as a child of retail, with my father owning a music store ever since I was 8 years old, and all my adult life having been involved with retail, and a friend of mine has a retail store, I know the counts. I know kind of the head counts you need. And I thought to myself, my God, what do they need in there? Four people? 6? I know you need one person to listen to your order, to take your money. I know you need, a couple people to keep the coffee machines going and fill. You need a couple people in the kitchen. So I'm thinking 6, maybe 8, but 8 people keep that place humming. I mean, it's humming with activity. The kitchen area, they can receive their food in. They can then prep the food. They have the sous chefs, the prep people. They have their bagel making and or whatever. They got their freezers and fridges and ovens and display counters. I mean, it just keeps it running. They have a wide variety of product. It's not just donuts. It's a lot of product. And they are pros at how they run it. But I thought, wow, I bet you they need 8 people in there. And right now, even at $15 to $18 an hour, they cannot staff the store. And that was the other realization that hit me between the eyes. I went, holy moly, macaroni. I know that they get paid more than $15 an hour to work at Tim's. They absolutely do, because employment right now, to get employees is not easy, because a lot of employees are being paid not to work. The unemployment benefits are more generous than before, because there are legitimate people who cannot go to work. They are not, their jobs right now are on hold, and so the government is supporting a lot of the population. But I thought, yeah, even the Timmy workers, there are probably people who were working at Tim Hortons who were working there as a secondary job. As you know, in America, and those of you in Europe, I'm not sure about your situation in Europe, but in America and in Canada, a lot of North Americans work two jobs. We have maybe a full-time part-time job at one spot and a full-time part-time elsewhere, because unfortunately in our two countries, but not so much in Canada, but definitely in the United States, there are employers who will not hire people more than so many hours a week. It might be 20 hours a week, 24, 28, because after you have employees over a certain number of hours, you now have to give them all the full-time benefits, and they don't want to do it. They only want part-timers to keep their wages low, keep their perks low, healthcare costs and everything else low, so they can run their business as low as cost as possible. And so a lot of folks have two jobs, and I'm guessing that even in little old Creston, British Columbia, there aren't a whole bunch of people at Tim Hortons that work more than 20 hours a week. And my hunch is that there are people who are sitting there going, why should I work at Tim's for 15 or 16 or 17 an hour, get deductions off of my pay, have to get changed into a uniform, work my tail off, because it's hard, it's fast, hard work. There's a lot going on in there. There's no sitting around and relaxing in your cubicle and waiting for a call to come in. You're handling drive-throughs, and it's nonstop action. These folks are sitting there going, I'm getting so many dollars a week for benefits. Why should I, even if I only get $12 an hour for benefits, $10 an hour for benefits, but I don't have to do the work. Over here at 18 bucks an hour, you take off the deductions for UI, which is unemployment insurance, take off pension deductions, you take off the British Columbia taxation, federal government taxation. They're netting out 12 bucks an hour. I mean, $6 is coming off the top per hour. So a 5-hour shift or whatever they're getting, there's 30 bucks. They're not getting 30 of the dollars. They're getting the rest, and they're sitting there going, I can get $60 or $70 to work here, or I can stay at home for 50 and not be tired and not have a sore hip and a sore back, because a lot of these workers are in their 40s and 50s and 60s. These aren't high school kids, because the high school kids in this town don't work. They don't have cars. It's a whole different group of people working at the Tim Hortons. I wouldn't call them elderly, but I will call them adults holding a second job, a lot of which are female adults. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them for not wanting it. Why would I work for an extra $2 an hour, $10 a day to bust my ass, making coffee, sandwiches, donuts, and on my feet, and being exhausted at the end of 5 hours? I'm not 22 years old anymore. I'm 42, I'm 52. Screw this. I'm staying home. I get it. And we went through there yesterday, and I went, holy macaroni, I can't believe it. I immediately thought of the business owner. I wasn't actually thinking of the employees. I thought of the owner. I thought of the poor owner, because, again, I used to be an owner, not of a Timmy's, but of a retail store. I thought, the poor owner, you're shut down. I mean, he's closed. He's got customers coming through here wanting to buy. We're ready to buy a couple of coffees, a couple of donuts. We're in and out quick. I mean, you can take care of us in like 4 minutes and we're gone. And here comes the next one. Here comes the next one. And even if you only make $2 net profit on every order, they're just coming. They're coming. You're making nothing. The meter is running. There's the town of Creston has a taxation meter to be in business. There's the rent or the mortgage or whatever the land. If you're sitting on the land, you got payments. You got your franchise fees. This meter's running, man. And this guy is really getting screwed. I mean, he's really losing money. But can't get the employees. Cannot get the employees to come in enough volume. Shocking. Even in this little tiny remote area where you think jobs are precious. It's not like we're in a big city where you can go anywhere and get a job, kind of thing. Here, there are jobs galore around here. No one to take them, or not enough to take. Not saying no one, not enough people to take the work. And even without the restaurant, not running the restaurant means he didn't need 4 employees. Only the drive-through. So instead of having 12 people, he needed 8, or instead of 10, he needed 6. He can't get the 6 to even run the drive-through. Whoa, that to me is like, there's evidence of COVID. There's another thing to notice about COVID, as tiny as that is. Anyway, we left Timmy's. We went to another coffee shop. We knew there was a mom and pop coffee shop that had a drive-through, and we've always driven by it. It was near a grocery store, and we said, well, let's go to this other place. I can't even tell you the name of the place. I just know it's the coffee shop beside our grocery store. We'll go over there. So we drove over there. We come around the building, and it's just a freestanding little building. And we come around to the drive-through, and the gal opens up, and she's got her mask on. I said, "How you doing?" She goes, "I'm pretty good. How are you?" I said, "Pretty good." I said, "Let me ask you a question." I said, is your business up because of the Tim Hortons employment situation?" She goes, "Oh yeah, since Sunday." I said, "Since Sunday?" She says, "Yeah, they've been open and closed different hours since last Sunday. This is day 4 or day 3 or whatever it was." I went, "Wow, this isn't even the first day today. It's already been going on. Oh my gosh." I said, "Wow, that's amazing." She said, "Oh yeah, we know our business is up because folks are coming here for a coffee." So, well, speaking of a coffee, we ended up ordering, because this is a specialty coffee shop. This is like a mom and pop Starbucks, but with a little more service, a little more menu item. So we each got a latte, which we never get at Tim Hortons. We just get basic coffee at Tim Hortons. But we got each other a latte, decaf for Jen and a regular latte for me. And we each got ourselves a cinnamon roll, because we didn't know, like, do you have any donuts or anything here? Oh, we got cinnamon rolls. Oh, we'll take one for each of us. $18 was the cost with tax for the 2 lattes and 2 cinnamon rolls. At Tim Hortons, we pay $6.95. 2 coffees and 2 donuts, $6.95. 2 lattes and 2 cinnamon rolls, $18. I just handed her my debit card and paid it. I didn't say a word. Said, "Yeah, thank you." And we left and went to a nearby park and just parked there and stayed in the car and enjoyed it. And thought, well, there you go, $12 more or $11 more in expense, but it is 2 lattes. It is not 2 regular coffees. And Jen and I thought, well, we wouldn't, next time we come here, we wouldn't need 2 cinnamon rolls. 1 will do for both of us, because this is such a large and dense item. So delicious, but too much for each of us to have 1. Although I ate mine, Jen took half home. In any event, we enjoyed it, but we do know that if we went back next time and ordered regular coffees and had 1 cinnamon roll, I think we'd still get away. We'd probably get away with about $9 or $10. It'll be more than the high volume Timmy's, but it would be, lovingly handcrafted by local business people. Anyway, welcome to the COVID world in which we live in little old Creston. Little surprise. We were a little shocked at that. And I've noticed also, I will say this, that in the last month and a half, at least 6 weeks now, going into one of our grocery stores, which is we call it a superstore. It's a big grocery store. They probably have in the store, when you go in there are probably 4 cashiers always going. And then the customer service desk, and then you have all the employees throughout the store. I would imagine that they have 20, 25 employees working there all the time, all day long, at least $15 to $18 an hour. So that's a serious payroll. They've had for 6 weeks taped on the doors and taped by the cash registers. If you know anyone, basically they're saying, if you know of anyone that needs work, let us know. We are desperate for employees. They're desperate to hire. They cannot fill the positions, and they're offering part-time work, full-time work. Can you give us 6 hours a day? Please give it. Can you give us 4? We'll take 4. You have no experience in a grocery store. Don't worry, we'll train you. Unbelievable. This has been at least 6 weeks where our big grocery store has been pleading with the customers. Do you know someone in your family that's looking for part-time work right now? we're hiring. We really mean it. And these sheets of paper are always replaced with fresh, clean ones. You know how they get ratty and they get peeled and stuff. Always fresh. They're clean, very easy to read signage. We are desperate for employees, if you know of any, in the middle of a pandemic. So there you go. Very interesting things happening out there. That's just here. Curious about your neighborhood. And that's just Bruce giving you his little 2 bits of info that he's come across so far. Thank you, all of you, for those of you who are here, popping in to say hi to me. I really appreciate it all. Thank you for all of us, for all of you who are becoming new members of this channel. Those of you who are renewing your membership, thank you again. Appreciate it very much. Yep, this is what a Canadian riot looks like. That's right, stuffing junk mail back into post office slots. This is our way of protesting. Yeah, Canadians out of control. You've pushed a Canadian too far. Now you've done it. Now you've done it. Oh, what could I say? Canadian confrontational argument. There you go. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the government is the virus. I killed cable. It's ridiculously expensive for endless commercials. I replaced it with Netflix, HBO, Tubi, YouTube, and just stream to my TVs with Chromecast. Internet is now the main bill. Interesting. Observe. I'm an aggressive unsubscriber. Even physical mail. Hate it on so many levels, but stop making me responsible for your waste. My Jen moved in, and I was adamant as she not to do a change of address. Major research article is expected on Reddit this morning from somebody, author of Everything Short, which has been cited in major periodicals and analyzed, proven accurate by teams of scientists. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, here we go. Keep the Postal Service workers in business. Deposit your junk mail in the box across town. Let's go. Here we are. Only been to Timmy's once. The maple donuts are fiery. I don't know what that means. She's going to miss those huge payments from her Nigerian benefactor. Starbucks does that here. By the way, let's see. My parents are still paying like $250 a month for cable and internet and telephone. Let's go here. A nice way to help recycling. It's all fake. This is what happens when it's more too profitable to take the unemployment aid than work, or it's what happens when work doesn't pay enough. Maybe work should pay more, or maybe any employee working any hours are eligible for benefits, and there you can't cut out benefits to part-timers. You have to offer benefits to all. If you do that and everyone's on the same playing field, watch everything change. Watch corporations decide we're better off hiring full-time employees than having part-time employees. It's this attitude of, well, we're just going to go to it's the race to the bottom. We just want to cut costs, and operate our business at as low a cost as humanly possible. But the problem is the turnover costs are so astronomical. The loyalty factor isn't there with your employees. You've got people who work part-time to get out as soon as possible or go elsewhere as soon as possible. It's a lose-lose scenario. And now you have people who are paid very little money, who cannot spend money on the local economy in any real way because they don't have any money to spend. And the food banks continue to thrive with working people going to food banks because they can't cut it at $8 an hour or whatever these wages are. Again, it's, you either pay one way or you pay the other. At the end of the day, people have to eat. Anyway, what can I say? Let's see. What else is going on? Here we go. Jack Wallace confirmed SS holding of GameStop found to be over 250 million. Just seen some due diligence on Reddit. We already thought it was that high. Confirmation bias. Max Lacrosse, thank you for this donation. Morning. Any theory why U.S. banks are boarding up? Why are U.S. banks boarding up? Are you asking me about why U.S. banks are closing branches? Is that what you're after? Not quite sure what you mean by this. Maybe you can give me a little more detail. Wally's World, keep postal workers working, recycle your junk mail for free. And holy mother of all short squeezes, 26 times the float, 2,650%. That can't be real, but it's possible. Let's look at the medium case instead. 4.8 times the float. Why the face does this mean? Stock markets with Bruce. Jake, it means that in order for a number of shares traded OTC for GameStop to make any kind of sense, we have to assume there's an additional 205 million synthetic shares flying around on the internet. Fred V. The only reason they can't find people is because Trudeau's economic program. Mac Lacrosse, where are you seeing that? L4G Custom. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Let's see. It's amazing that all of the essential things people do except work is not essential now. Let's see. What else is going on? Here we go. I couldn't work at my serving job at a restaurant due to COVID, and I got paid anyway. Very nice. However, I lost the job due to a fire, so no benefits because not due to COVID. How about that? Baking. I used to be a manager at an AMC theater while in college. We were instructed not to give people too many hours so they wouldn't classify as full-time. Exactly. It's exactly what it is. That has been the mantra at Costco. It's been the mantra at Walmart, that there are a certain number of full-time employees and no more. And after that, part-timers only. And that's with grocery stores and many other businesses, especially the larger businesses who can really control from head office the whole picture. And as long as labor is easily available, you'll exploit it to the point where you'll keep it low enough to just have part-timers only with minimal benefits, and keep the number of full-time employees as humanly possible, as low as humanly possible, because you have to pay more. You have to provide more to full-timers. Unfortunately, what it means is there are people working 2 or 3 jobs to try to cobblestone 40 hours of work, but 40 hours of work isn't enough to live on at minimum wage. And so now what do? You work 50 or 60 hours a week, 3 20-hour gigs, and now you're working into Saturdays and Sundays. In other words, you're working 7 days a week, somewhere, somehow, to put 60 hours together to try to survive. And this is compounded by the fact that there are single parents who are doing this with children, and it just is a downward spiral for the society as a whole, because kids don't get mommy and daddy time, they don't get learning time, and they're the next generation of 60-hour-a-week, 3-job people. Never-ending cycle of poverty and frustration and early death, because these folks don't have health care. They don't have the money to go to a doctor. Are you kidding me? They're praying they don't get ill. And when they do get ill, they go to the hospital into emergency. And now society is paying this unbelievable cost of healthcare to people who show up in emergency. It's much more expensive to have emergency patients than to have regular patients looked after by doctor's appointments on a regular basis. It's a wheel of inefficiency, and we all pay it. That's the reality of it. Everyone pays it one way or the other. It's just a question of how you pay it and where you pay it, and it is too bad. Anyway, that's welcome to the world. Paul, a good morning, Apes. I love the smell of rocket fuel in the morning. We have 7 minutes to go until we're opening this market up, so let's see what's going on. Yeah, look at this here. COVID, could one of the staff members get sick and spread it to the rest of the employees and being in quarantine? I've seen it here. One person is asymptomatic but has COVID, doesn't say it, and doesn't lose income. There are people who have the virus, know it, don't show outward signs. They go to work, they need the money, and they make their fellow workers ill without saying anything because they're too afraid to talk. And they, here we go. While a junk mail ought to get someone's attention on a global scale, we need Canada to help out. I work at a place that now reprimands you for calling in sick even during a pandemic, and that's the other problem right there. No respect for humans. It was exactly this quiet it was exactly this quiet in pre-market. The last time it ran up, 158.50 on GameStop right now is the morning quote right at this minute with 5 minutes to go in the day. The Dow looks like it's down 47 points on the pre-market. S&P down 8, NASDAQ down 54. That's where we are. You are 100% look things differently when you you look 100% differently when you own a business. It's true. When you own a business, it's 100% different, and it's us against them. Unfortunately, in many cases, if you're a manager of a franchise that has an owner that isn't there, it's a corporate owner, you're now given your instructions on a computer screen or on texts, and they can be very impersonal, and you really have to be a taskmaster sometimes. Dan, meanwhile, the teenagers never worked a day in their life and will drop $100,000 on college. There is that. Eddie R, everyone I know who got it, it was from someone who didn't know they had it, contagious before symptoms, and that is, Krista, you are right. So many people really didn't know they had it and were super spreaders, and this is the really scary thing. I agree. Larry Lewis has joined this channel as the latest, greatest member to come on in here. Larry, welcome to the gang. I'm glad you're here. Welcome, sir. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy our company, and I'm glad you made it. Morning, kids, from Tony. Tony's out. You're out and well on parole. All is well. Samuel, thank you for this donation. Is VGA Steel still a good stock to buy? Yes, it is. Welcome, Larry, from everybody. Nice to have you here. Welcome, everyone. And let's go here. Let's go. What else is going on here? Oh, my son got COVID off a gas pump. Now he carries alcohol and sprays the gas pump before he touches it, and he wears gloves now. I know. It's what you got to do. In some cases, it's kind of scary out there. We are 3 minutes away from opening this market. We're at 158.35 on GameStop right now. Welcome all of you. It's nice to be here. I'm going to my Timmy's from now on. Starbucks is too expensive. Local owner support. Do they have Tim Hortons in Bulgaria? Krista, yes, totally. I think at the end of it, nobody asked for it, and certainly we will all suffer from the situation. Let's say cinnamon rolls are the best. You know the difference of scale through Bruce and of a mom and pop business and the value of local dollars circulated. As you mentioned, you ordered like kings. Look, I was happy to give them $18. I really was. I was happy to do it. We wouldn't do it 5 days a week. It's too expensive, but I was happy to assist. It's a mom and pop store, and I know the taxes they're paying are unbelievable. In British Columbia, to be in business in this province, unbelievably expensive property tax, provincial tax, the federal taxation's on top of everything else. And so, yeah, we're happy to do it. Good morning, everybody from Shea. And Krista, it all started just over a year ago with one person, no more, no less. One. Isn't that something unbelievable? Good morning, everybody from Tony. Let's see. My brother and sister-in-law had no symptoms. What about GameStop? 158.45. We're getting ready to open, kids. Welcome all, and I'm hoping that you'll enjoy our day today. I hope to enjoy the day today too. Thank you, all of you. Let's see. Welcome all. Just woke up, says Jonathan. I'm here. I got COVID from the toilet seat. Stop licking toilet seats, for crying out loud, you guys. Jeez. Michelle agreed. Left, right, or center. We're all GameStop holders. We want to stick it to the hedge funds. There you have it. 158.72 right now, just before we open up. Everything is completely open here in South Alabama, and virus numbers are now very low. I'm happy to hear it, Mama Babe. I hope it stays that way. That would be great. Let's see. 2-minute warning, says Texas. John Smith, there are thousands of people watching it. RN, I don't know what it means. Anyway, thank you all of you for popping by. Nice to see you here. We have 627 thumbs ups on the pre-show. Thank you, everybody, for your support of this YouTuber. Thank you for that. We have folks renewing their membership again this month. Thank you for that. Appreciate all of you popping by and sticking with us. 158.98 now. Looks like we're getting a little stronger. I'm not sure what's going on. Headline in MarketWatch: why U.S.'s poverty rate is now at its highest level since the pandemic began, is the headline. Don't have time to read this story, but not everyone is benefiting every way. It is what it is. We are now getting ready to open. CNBC is almost finished with their pre-market opening commercials. The Dow is showing a 39-point drop. S&P is showing down 7 points, and NASDAQ down 50 at the last readings in the futures as we are getting ready to open up the day. And we're about to start trading very momentarily. Let's see what happens. hopefully good things will happen today. We'll stick around and see. One moment at a time, 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time. Thank you everybody for popping in here. Okay. Bama Babe, we're in South of Florida. We're open here. Low numbers also. Wally's saying we're going to the moon. Let's see here. Let's go chat. Sylvester Stallone, I absolutely like this stock. We are ready to hit the bell at any moment now to start the day, and we'll see what the markets want to give us right off the get and the go. Looking at GameStop, 158.24, down 29 cents. 111,000 volume, I sense, is where we're at right now. We are open. We are trading. The bells have been going, and we're underway. GameStop, 158.50. No change, virtually no change. AMC, 924, down 4 cents. So very quiet opening there. We are looking at, let me get this straightened out right here. We are on the Dow up 3.3 points to start the morning. S&P down 4 points. NASDAQ down 38. We have got GameStop at 156.78, 156.70 down $1.83. 157 just popped up again, so it's jumping around a little bit here. We're open. Let's see what's going on. Market Watch earlier today had data on the most shorted stocks. So was GameStop on the list? No. Shenanigans? Kind of make you wonder, doesn't it? Let's see what else is going on. We are partially open here, but numbers are high. I think the high population density is the main reason for it, says Eddie R. Shorting right off the bat, says Devin, I put a limit order on IPOE at 1403. It's 1481 on the open, down 6 cents for IPOE right now. Gore's Holdings down 29 cents to 11.66. That is very attractively priced as well. Coinbase down $6.16 to 3.14. GameStop now 157.09, down $1.44. AMC 9.17, down 11 cents right now. And why did it dip yesterday? No reason for the stock to dip. It was the market that dipped yesterday, and GameStop was just part of it. It had a partial drop yesterday, but nothing too serious. Jeremy, how come every time I read about VGAC, they are dumping on it? Every time I see an article, it's about dropping VGAC. Any thoughts? Jeremy, I don't know. I wouldn't worry about it. I say you buy it and you put it away and let Richard Branson and the gang be your promoters, and that's what's going to happen. We are within a month or so of this deal being done, and the company will be known as 23andMe, trading on the New York Stock Exchange. The symbol will be ME, and a whole new chapter in the life of these shares is just around the corner. And the company will be funded with $950 million in cash. And I think they have billions more available to them anytime they want to take it. So something tells me a lot of activity is going to take place on VGAC. You just have to have the patience and the stomach to hang around until they change their name and start trading. As soon as that merger is completed, the paperwork is being done as we speak. And that's the same with all the SPACs that I follow. I'm waiting for all of them to get their deals done. And we will be very busy here. I will be extremely busy keeping you updated on all the news on these SPACs. There's going to be a ton of news on these guys. Let's get going. Excuse me. Kind of makes you wonder, says Adam. Bruce, what's your view on the price of Canadian wheat stocks currently? Do not touch wheat stocks of any company anywhere. Do not go there. It is a Wild West, no certainty scenario. In Canada, wheat companies have had nothing but problems. They cannot get a guaranteed flow going through their system because every province regulates the shops, and then all municipalities regulate shops. And it's an absolute nightmare. It's a complete nightmare. There are no large retailers in the weed business. And so these pot producers, these guys who are producing the oils and the edibles and everything else, they are in real trouble. They are scrambling to survive. They are changing their business plan constantly. And in Canada, the nightmare is packaging and labeling. Absolute nightmare in Canada. Every province has different requirements, different legislation. You do not want to be an investor in any of this stuff. You really, really don't. I don't know how they're going to do it. There's going to be, and has already been, massive reconsolidation, and I think it's going to continue on for a while. 158.24 in GameStop, down 29 cents. 158.47, 159.15. We're in the money. We're higher now on the day on GameStop. Volume to start the day now, 159.15. The volume, 230,000, very quiet. There was a little down dip at the beginning, but it was nothing. It was like zero, and now the stock is up on the morning. AMC is up 2 cents to $9.30. It was down to $9.14 on the opening. It's rebounded, and so we have a couple of greenies here. I got a couple of greens on my phone. I don't know what this means. There's this red thingy, and there's this green thingy, and then this red thingy is coming towards this green thingy, and I think we're the green thingy. What is that? 159.42 on GameStop, up 90 cents. AMC at 9.33, up a nickel. Interesting. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I've got 100 shares of VG, so I'm hoping it does well. I'm hoping you will too. I think you're gonna like it. I think once you get this opening through, this merger done, I think you're going to like your stock a lot. You're probably going to say, I should have bought more. I think that's what you might be saying. Brucey Bruce and Funky Bunch, let's have another good day in the corrupt markets. Thank you, Erica. We'll try and do that. We'll see if we can stay uncorrupted in these corrupt markets. 159.68 on GameStop. We are improving a little bit here and a little bit there. Not surprised to see it. I'm not surprised to see GameStop improving. I am convinced that there is a move afoot where investors are picking up this stock bit by bit by bit. They look for dips. They don't get them. They get in here anyway. There is a plethora of news coming on GameStop that could have nice ramifications for the stock, starting with the CEO search. But, we'll see what happens. Hit the like button for Bruce. Oh, thank you so much. Just sold off Doge, thinking about getting another 50 VAGC or whatever. Just smoke those wheat stocks instead of buying them. I'm tired of red. Come on, green. What about the American wheat stocks? No. Here we go, kids. Buckle up. Buy the dip. Loved your Uncle Jerry. Loved your Uncle Jerry Larry. I'm not sure what that means, but thank you. Green candle forming on GameStop. 159.99 going higher. We're about to break through 160 here. Is it going to go through like butter? Just did. Like butter. Hot knife through butter right there. 160.10. It's 160.20 on GameStop. I have 725 shares of VGAC. I hope this deal gets done soon. The next month or so should be done. HEXO is a fun packaging company. Congratulations. Lance, or was it OG? I don't know what that means. Has anyone seen a huge Dorito pattern forming? No idea what that means. Hey, I see you guys in about 45 minutes. Got to go walk the cows. Hey, hang in there. Dan, the first thing I'm going to buy with my GameStop money is a 2021 gold American Eagle coin from the U.S. Mint. Inscribed with diamond hands. Oh, throwing money around. Oh, my gosh. Eddie, what does that mean, green? James, Uncle Bruce, saw your IPOE alert. Estimate of extension time to close the deal? I don't know. How much do you think the SPAC will jump after the deal closes? I don't know. Do I like it? Yes, I do like it. So that's all I can tell you. See you later, Rabbit. Upward pressure. I would buy more if I could. Just bought more. GameStop, 160 now. 161.44 now. I would buy more too if I could. 160.20, 161.44. I hear the best way to make money in cannabis is on the black market. Those are the guys that are still making money in this business. Your local friend, your local acquaintance. They can undercut the government prices, no problem whatsoever. This is the thing that governments just are not. I don't know. They don't want to. They don't want to discuss it. They don't want to talk about it. But the harsh reality is, weed is weed, and certain types of weed product will be purchased from those who can deliver it privately, and that's just fact of life. And the booze business has been. The so-called illegal booze business has pretty well been shut down, but the illegal weed business, good luck with that. With the kind of prices that are being charged in some jurisdictions, because governments are so desperate for tax revenue, and they think this is the panacea, this is the answer to their problems. they're getting a harsh reality. A lot of provinces and states are realizing they're not making the money they thought they'd make, because the bottom line is they're charging more than the dealer down the street. It's all about competition, kids. What can I tell you? Jack, stock markets with Bruce. My mom said today she'd love to retire. She worked all her life. Yesterday, she also said she would love to win the lottery. GameStop is my ticket to the moon. There you have it. Butter. Green tastes so good. Hey, Bruce, when is the IPO merger going through? Anytime. 161.26. How about 161.86? It is moving. We've got, this is the first time I bought shares and the stock goes up. I don't know what to do with myself. Actually, I've been buying VGC daily. I think it's going to fly. David Lee, I just had a bacon and egg and cheese on the toasted bagel. Let's go. Paul's Guitar, waiting patiently for my 2552 shares of VGAC, SVAC, GHA to do their thing. Bruce is my broker. Late, waiting it out. Chart, gray market, best market. No comment. All dispensaries make you pay in cash. Tony, 162 on the stock, 161.40. Hi, Bruce from Nicholas. Pete, we're going to the moon. Pete, we're going to the moon. Pete, we're going to the moon. Specular, yeah, Bruce, that's about true. That's true with weed. It's not weed, boomer. It's cannabis. Jake, the cannabis at my local coffee shop comes from the black market, and then it's legal for the moment I buy it and okay for the time I'm carrying it back home. Amazing. Talent, Terror Gaming. Hey, Bruce, you're amazing. Thanks for the advice and good time. Best subscription I pay for. Also, 9 Regan delivers weeds and booze to your door. I mean, how about that? Pete, I really can't help myself. Moonshine is the best. GameStop, such low volume with a high jump so far. We're at 162.53, up $4 a share on 492,000 shares. That is to be expected. Get used to this, kids. I really believe that if the followers of Reddit and Wall Street Bets, which have got to be over 20 million now, if they each wanted to buy just 10 shares of GameStop over the next month, your stock would be $2,500 a share. It would be right there, causing $100 billion in losses to Wall Street, the hedge funds on Wall Street. The wealth transfer would come to you as shareholders. Could be a lot of fun. $4 move on 500,000 shares. Get ready. This is the new normal. It's going higher. Uncle B, VIX is up 10% 2 days in a row, and that's saying something. What do you think? Well, if it's from such a low level to 10% gain, maybe it's just a correction. I don't know. Failure to deliver cycle lands on them today. Should be some good action, says Rockhead. Let's hope so. Lance, if it isn't the word cannabis, then it's a term we abhor. Laugh out loud. 460,000 volume. Nicholas, bagels can make you constipated, like some of these stocks lately, you know. What can I say? Coinbase 306.29. It's headed for 250, and then it's headed for 200. Those are my predictions on Coinbase. Down 14.53 at 306 right now. GameStop 161.50 up 297. AMC 944 up 16 cents. That's what you got. Vector Acquisition down 14 cents to 10.42. Navsite Holdings down a penny to 9.86. Social Capital IPOE up 11 cents to a 14.98. Gores Holdings on sale 11.45 a share, down 50 cents. What a bargain. VGAC up a penny, 9.91, a bargain. SVAC Starboard Value 9.89, down 2 cents, a bargain. And Fortress Value on sale 9.97, up 2 cents though, but still under 10. Vanek Vectors, computer chip production companies, they are up $1.17 to 243.88. Home Depot up $1.29 to 325. International Business Machines, IBM up $1.13 to 139 now. Dow Jones up 74.61. Thank you, Dow. Finally getting a little bit of green here. S&P down 3.8, NASDAQ down 63. Microsoft off 40 cents to 257.86. Apple down $1.62 to 131.50. Even with the presentation yesterday, Apple is cheaper. To me, I think Apple later this year, sometime this year, will break 150. So if you're thinking of Apple long-term, mid-term, you'll make money on Apple. Tesla, $701.59, down $17 a share. Right now it's $700.99. Bed Bath & Beyond up 40 cents to 25.41. Maybe it'll go back to 30. BlackBerry, unfortunately, 806 down 15 cents, not looking good. We've got Royal Caribbean up $1.30 to 82.20. We got Norwegian up $1.14 to 27.89. We have Carnival up 54 cents, 26.26. Mixed signals coming from the cruise lines. One day they're up, one day they're down. One day cruising will begin. One day cruising hasn't got a chance to begin. Around we go. 160 on GameStop, up 260, up 259 on the stock. JP Morgan down 11 cents. Costco up 47 cents. Walmart up 20 cents. Not a lot going on here. Amazon down 22 bucks, $3,311. Nvidia up $2 at 609. Goldman Sachs down $1.34 at 330 bucks. Disney down $1.26 to 181. Facebook down 428 at 298. Another breach of data out of Facebook apparently is being discovered. Their troubles continue, but they've had a good run lately. American Airlines down 7 cents to 20.30. Google down $18 to 22.74. Netflix still down 38 bucks at 511 bucks a share. DraftKings down 69 cents to $55.02. That's where we're looking at the market right now. Let's get back to what we're following closest. 159.31 on GameStop, up 78 cents. Volume on GameStop to start the day, 681,000 shares. Will we get into a selling wall? Will that happen? Will there be an attack on the stock to try to drive it down today? We'll see. We'll know in the next 15 minutes, because that's usually the first 30 minutes every day. 159.85 right now. AMC 937 up 9 cents, and only the Dow was up at 65-point gain. S&P down 1.8. NASDAQ down 58. Oil down 98 cents. Oil down $1.02 a barrel at 61.42. Interesting stuff. Thank you all for being here. Let's see. Jonathan said, I used to sell a lot of weed, made good money, and had to grow up and watch Bruce. Stocks, SPACs getting spanked. SPACs getting spanked. Okay. What will be the first SPAC to emerge? I keep thinking it's IPOE. That's the one I'm thinking about. SoFi. They're the one furthest down the road, but I know that SoFi is taking over a chartered bank, and that is probably holding things up right now. We're waiting for those approvals to come through, but we don't think they'll be that long. Bruce, you need to get you need to be emotionally prepared for a slow gin fizz squeeze and not a dramatic instant volcano. Okay, a private enterprise will always beat government programs. Weed is a prime example. 30 million lurkers. We don't always speak what we hold. GameStop. I keep buying 10, Bruce. Wall Street bets banned GameStop. Buying 10 more, says Devin. It's so easy when you ask. It's so easy when you ask. The Wildlife, I'm in. Sam, we got gorillas and diamonds here. What will be the first SPAC to merge? IPOE. If GameStop does squeeze big time, would it be good to move? Would it be a good move to sell and reinvest in a solid dividend stock like IBM? Well, you got to decide how many millions you make on this one. I mean, come on. If you got 1,000 shares of GameStop, and they go from 159 to $1,590, you've made 10 times your money. That's not a bad move. Sure, you can buy IBM anytime you want. You can buy other stock. Just see how much you make. Stephen, good morning, fellow holders. Quo, lots of paper hands in here. Chewy is up today. Oh, interesting. It was down the other day a little bit. Let's see what Chewy's doing. Chewy, 78.85, up $1.85 last trade, apparently. 78.76, and volume is 200,000. Very light on Chewy, but it is one of those. It is one of those companies. I do like it, and I'm just saying that that Chewy can get at any time upgrades from analysts, because I think Chewy will be posting profits now every quarter going forward, and I think the stock will get a higher rating from analysts. If GameStop were to trade at the exact same value of Chewy on a market cap basis, your GameStop shares right now would be about $500 a share. That is the upside just to equal Chewy for GameStop, and I think GameStop will exceed Chewy's numbers. But that's just me. Jack saying GameStop's strong. Not selling until 10,000 a share, says William. Let's see. Wasn't Coinbase's original IPO supposed to be like 150 to 200? I don't know. Ashley, I believe in Bruce specs. I hold them all. Got a keeper. That's it, William. Typo VGAC. Not to wait for dip today. Pick it up ASAP. I want VGAC to stay down so I can double down in a few weeks. We're at 158.56 on GameStop. We're just about unchanged. I will sell before then. Come at me. I just sold 20 SVAC to buy another GameStop. I'll buy 10,000 SVAC after this goes to the moon. Coinbase was supposed to be 250. Colin, Apple always goes down after product announcements and earnings calls, regardless of their content. Very good. Let's see. Then Sony could be a good buy too. 150 could be realistic this year. Let's see. I'm predicting, now stay with me now. I'm predicting that the stock will either go up and then down today, or it will go down and then up, and it may do both. Very good predictions. You've got a future as an analyst with Wall Street brokerage firms. They will pay you $1 million a year to say stuff like this on everything they follow. They love that kind of talk. Thought I was late to the GameStop. Picked it up because I hoped it had a little volatility left in it and just keeps on going. 157.73 on GameStop. Colin, are you some kind of a wizard? Hey, Bruce, my trading app is saying I lost 10 cents won my one share SVC, but I still have the fill order that says I paid $9.90. Is it just a visual glitch, or did I get robbed? 10 cents, laugh out loud. I do not know. It just could be a glitch. You must have a crystal ball, says William to Strabic. As Strabic, whatever that name is. Actually, I have been hunting telecom SPACs because the government stimulus to infrastructure. We shall see how I do in hindsight. Ashley, time will tell. Definitely. Excited to meet Kenny Griffin when he's a greeter at Walmart. Don't tell them. Pete, I think you scared it with all that moon talk. 158.38 on GameStop. See stonk move around. Bent's Boker, one half hedge funds have been fighting because they have a leg to stand on with their puts. They expired out of the money Friday, and now they don't have anything left but their shorts. Interesting. Two, they can't use arbitrage to manipulate the price because they no longer have a position in GameStop. What are your thoughts? You could be right. I don't know. 159.22. If they tighten up the failure to deliver deal, if that gets tightened up, watch the stock go too. I think the stock will go higher. Black X Pink, thanks. Prophetic. You really know your stuff. Time to buy. Waffle is a good buy. Auctioneer Bruce brings up game price. Auctioneer Bruce brings up GameStop. Thumbsies, so we can surprise Brucey. Says Steven. Aaron, when GameStop pops, I'm getting 2 gens. Ace, I wouldn't buy any game anymore because I ran out of money and things to sell. All I have left is my innocence. Boss Bagel, my man, any reason why Bank of America would be temporarily closing hundreds of branches suddenly? Union Bank may be doing the same thing. Confused. I do not know. I don't know what the what's going on. I haven't heard a word on this. I'm not familiar on what is being discussed out there about that. Anyone know anything? Let me know. Not selling until 10 million a share. Infinity Squeeze. Derek Raptor, I thought you wrote wife was a good buy. Tony, that was 10 million, Bruce, not 10,000. Laugh out loud. Ace, you can sell that innocence to me. I have a few more tickets for you. Aaron knows the way. Tony, this is the way. Chris, thank you, Chris, for this donation. Hope you have a great day. So do you not believe in Coinbase? Well, I think it's just overpriced. The Coinbase thing was so overhyped for weeks coming up to the listing. And it came out instead of the 250 range. Obviously, it went over 400 right off the get-go. And again, do you see Congress calling for an investigation where a lot of retail investors were, stampeded into this stock at the $400 to $429 level? It's now $313. I mean, after all, it's down over $100 a share in less than a week. Don't you think that should be an investigation? No one's saying anything about anything. It's all fine. It's okay for retail investors to pay the top price so that Wall Street can get out. It's all fine. It's all good. Anyway, there you go. 10 million is the floor, not the ceiling. They do have mail order brides, Derek. Laughing out loud. How do we name our own price when hedge funds have to buy the stock through sell limits? How do we name it? I don't know what that means, Dan. I'm not sure what you're trying to ask me here. Tony, Aaron Balling, you know what? Anyone paper handing at 10 grand is a fool. 10,000 a share is a joke for this stock. Okay. Yes, sell limits. IPOE up 47 cents. It's up 51 now to 15.38. IPOE is surging right now, taking a shot. It's now at 15.38 on volume of 549,000. We don't have anything official here that I can point to, but it is moving up right now to 15.38 a share. I hope some of you got into this stuff. I have been yelling about it now for 2 days. As I said, I think it's the first deal to close. It'll be the first deal to list as SoFi. It'll be the first of 7. I should say this, of the 7 SPACs I talk about. This should be the first of the 7 to complete its deal. Is that correct? Is that clear enough? I can't even understand myself sometimes. Aaron, William, diamonds, all kinds of good stuff. Adventures, and today's weather will be cloudy with a chance of rain. Aaron, Tony, 10,000 would make hedgies happy. I'm the bringer of hedgy tears. IPO is up even more, struggling to buy more. I already have 18 here. Just sell your innocence. GameStop was worth it. Did you hear that the Bank of America closed 400 plus of their branches today at 2 p.m. for unspecified emergency conditions? This is according to the Bank of America employee who posted on Reddit. I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna take a shot. Maybe data has been breached. Maybe they're worried about ATM machines spitting out money to the wrong people because of forgeries. I guess it's just me guessing. I don't know. Is it a security issue? They're not running out of money. That's not the problem there. They have plenty of cash to hand out to their depositors. So that's not the issue. Is it something, quote, of a physical nature regarding their infrastructure and or their regional data centers with respect to the security aspects of their customers? I'm guessing. There's my shot. What's your shot? 15.38 on IPOE, up 51 cents. Right now, it is higher. That's good news. GameStop, 158.39, down 14 cents. AMC, up 12 cents to 9.40. Okay, wow, weird. Coin will be 250 by the time hedge funds are finished with it. Remember, buy 10 shares. The more we hold, the less they get hold of. I want a seat next to Ryan on the board. David is saying like. Thank you, everybody, for giving me thumbs ups today. Very much appreciated. I think we've got, how many now? We have 924 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. Only 30 down today. Appreciate these thumbs ups from all of you out there. GameStop, 158.39, down 14 cents. Not much going on. The Dow is up 108 points. S&P is up 7. The NASDAQ only down 2. We're about to go green, I think, across the board. Watch the markets fly higher. They are probably oversold right now from the last couple of days of selling. My hunch. Just want to say I like the stock, says Sean Ryan. Jake, Bank of America, JP Morgan, and another bank, Goldman, I think, one recently offered bonds that, when combined, total over $34 billion. They're selling bonds which are debts for their own businesses. ANA, it isn't allowed. All right, Vash, people, be careful. Shills and bots will be posting when they sell. And how much? Don't worry about what other people are saying. Wait till your account has your number in it. Aim for 8 digits. Exit 7 ain't bad. All right, Jane. Stock Marshal Bruce, be careful, Uncle. When you stand up, we will see that you're not wearing pants. Jane, why is it that women notice this more than guys? Oh, I know. It's okay. It's all right. I've answered my own question. It's all good. I will keep that in mind. When I get up, I'll try to get a towel, wear it around me, so we don't have any accidents. Okay, 158.48 down a nickel on GameStop. We're up 41 cents on IPOE. 15.28, topped out at 15.49 this morning on 600,000 shares. So something's happening with SoFi and IPOE. Smooth Wake is saying, how are you doing? Sitting Bull, call me a fool. You're a fool. 160 again on GameStop, says Aaron. 158.63 right now. I mentioned Duncan, turn green. D Slaughter, they treat us shareholders like suckers. We don't get IPO and then wait. I just don't buy it on the first day of these trading runs. You get screwed. I never have understood how drops in the market generally affect individual stocks. Would you please explain how this works? Markets, it's a herd mentality kind of thing, the stock market. I mean, all stocks are trading,
due to human decisions. Generally speaking, excuse me. Oh my gosh. A stock is trading usually at a price where investors are saying, I think the future of this company is this. And GameStop is 159.16. And people are saying, I don't care what the company's doing right now. I don't care how many stores are open or closed, or what's going on with the GameStop merchandise, or Xbox, or Microsoft Xbox games. We don't care. What we care about is the future of the company GameStop, and we say the future is 159.88. So I'm prepared to pay 159.88 for this stock. 169 right now. I'm prepared to pay $160 for the stock of GameStop, even though if you did a forensic accounting and you valued up all the assets that the company has, less all the liabilities the company has, you'll come up with a net asset value of this company. Divide that by the number of shares outstanding, you will not come out with a $160 book value of the company. But I don't care about that. I don't care about the current book value. I care about the future of GameStop, and I'm prepared to pay $160 a share for 6 months to 1 year of future. And I think in the future, this stock is worth this kind of money. And I'm prepared to pay it now because I'm a futurist, and that's what we all are when we're in the stock market. We're all guessing the future of all of these companies as we buy and sell stock in these companies, because we are guessing on the future performance of these corporations. That's what we're doing. We're gambling. We're guessing. We're forecasting. We're future casting. We're wondering about the virus being defeated. We're wondering what the economy is opening up. We're worried about or wondering about people becoming reemployed or more jobs being created. And we think the economy will get much hotter than it has been. We think that government stimulus is good and is helpful. And we're prepared to pay record prices for stocks. And in the case of the Dow, we're very close to a record. S&P very close to the record, and NASDAQ not too far off. By the way, all stocks, all indexes are now positive. The Dow is up 155, high of the day. S&P up 12, and NASDAQ up 14. They're all up. And so that's how it goes. And each stock sometimes gets momentum from the markets as the indexes go up. Sometimes indexes go up from momentum of specific stocks, and it sort of feeds in. And the herd begins to feel positive as a whole. They want to pick up what they think are deals. And the sellers are not as eager to get out as buyers eager to get in. We have an up market. And right now, we got an up market going on here, even though we've had 2 rough days, or so-called rough days, of selling. Nothing terrible, but we've had 2 red days. Now we have a green day. There you go. That's how this works. Dominic, you said IPOE may be one of the earliest to merge. I was hoping to let it come back down to the $10 range. Well, I can't control it. Can only tell you what I think. People are asking me, what do you think? I think IPOE will be the first one to be done. 1547 right now, up 60 cents on the day, near the high of the day. Yeah, 1555 is the high. It's at 1552. It's going up. IPOE is going up. I don't know how much more I can yell from the top of my lungs to buy this stuff. JJ Green. Colin, words are hard sometimes. Dan, anyone else have green bagel envy out there? Sitting Bull, interestingly, we have not seen ladder attacks, wash sales lately. It is true, isn't it? We have kind of not seen that. We're 159.95 on GameStop. Back to red, says William. I have the feeling someone here bought a lot, and yes, IPO could finish this month. It could well be done this month, like Bruce says. They could well be up and running. Yeah, you're all right, Bruce. Damn, I use BOA. Bank of America is probably worried about riots from Chauvin trial. They closed them yesterday. Not sure if they're open today. Maybe that's what it is. It could be it. Some said it's a precaution in case there were riots based upon high-profile crime cases. Okay. Sit and Bull. Interesting. Bruce, this so smart coin is way oversold. Well, you know, 311.75 down $9. Lance, insert Fight Club reference here. William, didn't they close after the verdict? SEC sucks, says D. Slaughter. I heard the banks were A, worried for riots after the verdict, and B, banks are hoarding cash and don't want you to get your cash. No. they know they're in trouble. You can get your cash. You just get it electronically. It's not a big deal. Nepa the big whoop. I just dumped entirely Bank of America. They closed out my line of credit. I have had it with them for 13 years. Unbelievable, Larry. Unbelievable. William, I doubt the cops are going to be rioting. Give Bruce 5 likes. I am doing this, right? I gave him 5. Bank of America, they suck. This is something going down of Bank of America unrelated to Derek Chauvin. Slaughter SEC equals S Elon C. What does Ryan Cohen's latest Twitter post mean? That the Bears are basically wasting their time, so to speak? We don't know. T2, Ted 2. Boys, Pulse Guitar. Bruce, my man, as I and my family frailly battle COVID together, your energy and insight is keeping me pumped up and a smile on my face. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all you do. Big dog. Ryan, thank you very much. And love the handle, Pulse Guitar. Thank you, all of you who are saying such kind things to me and Jennifer. We get so many of these private emails from you as well, and we thank you for that. Very kind of you. Thank you for all of you who have been making private donations to us through the PayPal account that we have. Thank you for that. Guys, you're terrific, and we love it. And I'm just happy to be part of your lives, and hopefully we can just keep on cranking higher and just having the stocks go higher and higher, make more money. I hope all of you become very, very, very wealthy. That would be tremendous. We have 1,000 thumbs ups right now on this show with 36 on the downside. Thank you very much for this support and this show of positivity. I appreciate it. 2,750 of you are here. If 1,700 of you at least could consider giving us a thumbs up this morning, that would really drive a lot more traffic to this channel, and a lot more people would find out why they should be buying GameStop and not be buying GameStop. So help yourselves by helping this channel get exposed to more people. Please consider a thumbs up so that we get more momentum through YouTube, and we can keep talking about GameStop. 159.90 up there at 137. And you should not be thinking about shorting this stock at all. Let's see. Something is happening at Bank of America unrelated to the Derek Chauvin trial. You can always create I don't know what he's trying to say. Let's see. What else is going on here? They want to see the Bruce laughing out loud. I'm not a female, but I suppose they are wondering what is under that blue sweatshirt. Let me take a look. It's pretty good. There's all kinds of good stuff in there. The wildlife better be a beach towel. Bruce has a hammer. Sitting Bull laughing out loud. Jane Doe smiling. Aaron appalling. I love it. It's time for the Rad making a donation to this channel. Thank you. Some Bank of Americas did not close, but the Reddit post was about Union Bank that closed 400 plus locations at 2 p.m. Bank of America did board up 2 downtown Chicago locations. All right, thanks, Aaron. Pauling says, Sitting Bull. Eddie, Uncle Bruce, you can always create a bagel underwear lineup. That's true. Krista, no volume. D. Slaughter, it was a tweet from Elon last year. He loathes the SEC. Did you see, have you seen the latest stuff? Have you guys noticed? Check this out. We have new coffee mugs available. How about this one? Bagel Time with Uncle Bruce. You can get that on a t-shirt as well. How about this one? Stock Markets with Uncle Bruce. You can get that logo in different colors. How about this logo? Here it is, Stock Markets with Uncle Bruce. We've already shown off these here, the shirts. Now we got these. I've just ordered all these mugs for myself and also some shirts. Bagel Time. How about that one? Bagel Time. But I want to caution you guys. I know how kind you've been to Jennifer and I by going to Redbubble store. I want to caution you. There are fakes out there. There are people out there trying to troll and sell this logo and those other logos through their Redbubble stores, pretending to be me. I only get a royalty if you order through the Bruce Fromert, Traveling with Bruce, Redbubble link. Now, there's a link to my store, Redbubble, on the top of this channel up here if you have a laptop. Or if you go to the home page or about section of my page, you'll find it. If you look under the description below, you'll find a link to Redbubble. That's our store. Make sure if and when you order, if you do, and I thank you if you do, that you are ordering from the Redbubble store of yours truly, because if you're not, there's a royalty going to an imposter. Now, we are reporting weekly to Redbubble every week. When we find out there are fakers out there, we call them out through Redbubble, and they eliminate the listings. But every week, newbies keep coming in. There are opportunists coming into this YouTubers world trying to scoop money from us by pretending to be us to you. And I wanted to just caution you on that. And I know that a lot of you out there have been acquiring items like this and like this to support my channel. And I can't thank you enough for the support. But please make sure you are truly supporting the channel and not an imposter. And so there you have it. That's what's going on right now. And I wanted you to be aware of it. Okay, thank you, everybody. And check out the new items. Check them out. I have to admit, though, I was buying items last night on Redbubble for myself, because that's even how I have to do it. And I was having trouble finding all my items. You really got to be patient. You got to kind of click through, and sometimes you can find like listings of cups, and you can hit for other cup listings. Sometimes you find a logo like this on an item like this, and then you can see other items available, and then you can see links to other items. But you got to make sure you're always in the store. It's a pain in the butt sometimes, but anyway, I'm doing what I can. Thank you, everybody, for everything that you're doing for us. We are so appreciative. All right, thank you, thank you. Time to buy. Thank you. Waffles, goodbye. Auctioneer Bruce brings up GameStop. Let's see what's going on. Thank you, guys. Let's go. IPOE is now up 51 cents to 15.38. GameStop 158.85, up 32. Let's see what else is happening. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm trying to catch up with all of your comments. Bear with me, folks. Got a ways to go to catch up to you. A whole bunch of you have left me all kinds of notes, and I thank you. Let's see what we have here. We are 159.90 on 158.90 on GameStop. New York's up 135. And let's see here. There we go. Okay. Thank you. Adam Lim, Stock Marshals Bruce got me waking up early every morning, and so I'm present. It's a great life. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Thank you for popping in to see us, hanging out with us this morning as we are following the markets in plain English. Hi, team. Olivia saying hello. Scott, how dare you confuse us with facts? All these SPACs getting hammered, but give it a year or two. Looks like Bruce is sitting on one or more telephone books than yesterday, feeling very bullish, and the bagel on the way soon. Look out, folks. I bought 50 more IPOE at $14.85. Finally, a stock goes up right after I buy it. $15.42 on IPOE, up 56 cents. High of the day, $15.55. So it's hanging in there. GameStop, $158.34. I'm dying to see one of these SPACs turn over into the new symbol. Just gives me more time to get more while we wait. I can't wait either. I can't wait. I know we're within a month on most of these now. Let's see here. What else is going on? Jane Doe is saying hi there. Says Seth. Sitting Bull, it indicates that he's shaking things up, or that the bears will be shaken. There's a shakeup coming soon. That's what tweet means. Heard Royal Bank of Canada is in big trouble. Trudeau will bail them out in the budget. Not going well, fellow Canadians. Royal Bank of Canada is making nothing but money. I know what you're talking about. How is Jen feeling? Everything fine, I hope? I think Jen is doing just fine. Aaron May, I like that too. Sockeye Bomb. I love to be squeezed by Shorty. Green bagels are awesomeness, and the new orange ones are the growth factor metrics of an upward trend. Thank you, guys. Yes, a lot of you now have green bagels beside your names because you are in month number 2 of the membership of this channel. Thank you for joining this channel and renewing your memberships. Fantastic. The tweet means he likes Marky Mark. Bruce, are you you keep doing you. Bruce, you keep doing you. I've had you on every day for months. I hope you haven't let the opinions on Facebook and the comments deter you. I got to tell you, I almost don't have time to read them. I almost don't have time to read the comments. I'm so busy, doing this and then getting ready for the show prior to this, getting ready for the second show this afternoon. By the time the second show is over, I'm so tired. I need a break, and then it's Jen and I get out of the house for a little bit just to get away. just to calm down a bit. Then we come back and maybe it's time for a nap, and then it's time for dinner, and then it's time for like an hour of Netflix or something, and it's time for bed. I mean, it's just non-stop work. Krista, Bruce is the best, and that's why we're fighting for the chance to have him hold our hair. How about that? I have a question regarding the SPACs in general. Is it more of a flip like an IPO play or a longer-term growth? It can be either one. No rules. There's no rules here. All I can tell you is that you grab these SPACs now while they're dirt cheap, before their deals close. Let them do their deals. Let them talk. And in the first month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, you figure out what you want to do. Now, if you're happy, if your SPAC goes from 10, 11, 12 to 20 or 21, and you think that's good enough, you do what you want to do. On the other hand, if they keep climbing, they start slowly, and then they have a surge, and then they level off, and another surge, and you end up at 25, 35. Way to go. You want to start writing call options against your SPAC stocks at 35? You're offering $38 calls for a $35 stock that you paid $11 for. Hello, what's wrong with that? I mean, there's all kinds of options, guys. There's a lot of this kind of talk between myself and my viewers one-on-one on Saturdays and Sundays. We go over all the variables together about what and how you can do what you're doing with these different stocks that I follow and whatever you're following. If you want to have a private session with me, let me know. Send me a private email, and I'll set up a time for you. Saturdays and Sundays is when I do these one-on-ones. I charge $400 for an hour of your time, my time, US. The minute I send you a confirmation, I'll send you an email saying I can give you a 1 hour session on this day at this time. Please make your payment. The minute you've made your payment, you are locked in for a slot. And if an earlier slot pops up this weekend, next weekend, I get a hold of you. If you would like to have as early a slot as possible to join me, you just let me know. And once your payment is in the system, you're in. And now it's just a matter of me finding the slot that opens up, because I do get occasionally someone who will contact me in the last week or 10 days to go saying, I can't make this appointment next weekend. Can you schedule me for down the road? All of a sudden I have an opening, and I now get onto my list of, who should I contact first? Oh, here's somebody I should contact. And I get a hold of you as quick as I can to say, hey, would you like to move up to this Saturday? Would you like to move up to this Sunday? Would you like to move up to next week Saturday? And then we put those together. So let me know if you'd like to hang out with me. Send me an email right here to brucestrauman@hotmail.com. Say, Bruce, I'd like to have a one-on-one session with you. When can you squeeze us in? Whether it's you and your wife, or you and your friend, or whether it's a couple of buddies, or just on your own. You want to just talk about your life. You want to talk to me about your situation. You want to talk to me about, you're a retailer and you want to talk to me about your business. You want to talk to me about your career. You want to talk to me about a combination of things. A lot of you are beginning to figure out that in the next 5 to 10 years, your lives are going to change dramatically because of familial obligations. And you want to figure out what to do and get ready for that, because some of you have already, and some of you will be getting that 3 o'clock in the morning phone call that you don't want to get, but we all get them from time to time. You got to be ready, and I'm more than happy to deal with you and work with you and help prep you. And just, I'm 65. I've been there. I've gone through all this. Guys, thank you all for reaching out to myself. Jen cannot believe how many people reach out to me to spend an hour with me. But she's usually on the couch over here when I'm talking to you guys over here, and she usually says hello. And people say, hi, Jen, and they go, hello. You don't get to see her, but you get to hear her. So let me know if you'd like to have a one-on-one session. Drop me a line, and we'll see if we can make this happen. Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I'm just trying to catch up on comments. Thank you, everybody. Let's go. Here we go. Anyone seen how serious the drought is in Taiwan? some reservoirs just hit 7% capacity. I guess that no one would have guessed that missing a typhoon or two was a bad thing. People and chips need water. Isn't that something? Hi, Jen. How you doing?
Good morning. I heard you talking.
I was talking about you to these people over here. Yes, letting them know that you're in the area, and I'm glad you're here. I told them the story this morning about how Tim Hortons was not there. We went to Tim Hortons and they were closed.
I know we had to read the sign twice.
We had to read it twice. We couldn't believe
What are
it.
you talking about? Do you need to be plugged in?
Not right now, but I have it handy when I do need to be plugged in. That's always on standby for power. Yeah, actually, I'll take it. I need to plug this in over here. So we went to another cafe yesterday instead and paid $18 instead of $8 or
Yeah.
seven. Yeah, instead of 7, we paid 18. But
we had fancy coffee.
we had fancy coffee and fancy cinnamon roll. It was fancy, so we paid fancy prices.
That's right.
Fancy prices.
That's right. Even in our little hick town.
In our little hick town,
prices.
we got fancy prices in this hick town. Oh yeah, we got fancy prices in here.
That's right.
Get that right, man. IPOE up 67 cents today at 1554. That is approaching the high of the day again on almost 900,000 volume. The IPOE is on the move. This is good stuff. I know a bunch of my viewers own this stuff, and I'm very happy to see that. Even AMC is up 18 cents to 946. I'm happy to see that. We have some viewers who hold that. IBM now to $140. I know I have viewers who have IBM at 119, 120, 121, 122. I know for a fact I've got viewers in that stock. Well done. 140 on IBM. Beautiful.
Don't sell Big Blue.
Don't be selling Big Blue. Don't be doing that. Yeah.
We bought it and put it away forever. It's bagel time.
I'm thinking grape jelly today.
Really?
Yeah. Grape jelly with butter. Nicely toasted bagel. Make sure it's toasted.
Beautiful morning outside.
It's gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. It's going to be a gorgeous day here today.
The last one for a while, but
yeah, that's cooling off a little bit.
A high of 20 today and a high of 3
Celsius. Yes, we're going to be in the 40s tomorrow. But Calgary, it's going to be worse. So we're getting off light.
The good news is those parts of Creston, I think you probably told them on Monday, but we had a wicked windstorm come through Sunday. And it took the power out, and those poor people are just getting their power back today.
Yeah, trees got knocked over, power lines got hit.
What happens when you live in a forest?
We're surrounded by forests and mountains.
Trees.
What's trees?
Trees,
Rocks,
man.
cliffs,
Birds.
lakes, birds. It's like a bloody zoo around here. I mean, it's insanity. It's the wilds. The wilds of Canada. Oh my gosh, we're in the wilds of Canada. Thank you, everybody, for popping in here, saying hi to us. Oh, I can't wait for my bagel. This is fantastic. Welcome one, welcome all to the show. Thank you for greetings, all your greetings and everything. 158.10 on GameStop. Let's see what's going to happen here. Good morning, Boston. Good morning, Reston. Thanks for being honest, Uncle Bruce. That's what I do. Bruce is loose. Let's go. Whoa, a BOI. There's a cold wind blowing down from the north this morning, says Lance. Let's see. What else is going on? Are you 3'10" or 3'7"? Andrew, Bruce, the tweet means there's a shakeup coming soon, and not in a bad way, obviously. Love from the Galleon River. I don't know what Andrew is telling me. People are trying to explain messages to me, and I don't understand the explanation. That's how out of touch I am. So you can fool me real easy. I need a coffee mug from you, Bruce. Looks like Tootsie Roll Squeeze not there. Nice girl, Jan Jr. Berlin super sticker. Fantastic. Thank you. Love the Miami Vice Bagel Time mug. Talking with Bruce, I already have your first 3 mugs. My cupboard is going to be full. Stop it now. Stop it. Diamond Girl, is that Jennifer in the picture? Is this Jennifer wearing the? Is that Jen? No, that's not Jen. No. Yeah, no. Jen this is Jen. Okay, that's not Jen. That's Jen right there, and that's Jen right there. That's Jen and me right there, and we get models to wear all the clothing here and all the different designs, and all of these logos we have produced here, different styles. You can get all these now on mugs and cell phone covers and anything else you want. Bagel Time with Bruce. You can get these on T-shirts. You can get this on hoodies. You can get this on pillow covers. You can get these on wall clocks. Oh gosh, does Redbubble have stuff? Unbelievable. Then you can get one of these. This has nothing to do with Redbubble. You want one of those? You got to send me a $60 US donation to my Redbubble account, my PayPal account. Excuse me. The link is down below in the description. PayPal donation of $60 US. I will mail you one of these guys. Airmail one of these to you. They're right here, made of solid wood, no battery, no software. On the back, we got the Bagel logo. On the front, we got the Bagel logo on 3 levels. We got them right here. We got it right here. We got it right there. Kind of cool. This is a cell phone holder. You put your cell phone in here, and it becomes an amplifier for your cell phone. This is a cell phone amplifier. You put your cell phone in here, the sound comes blaring out of here, whether you're listening to music or you're listening to me. It comes over here and then comes shooting up right from this blowhole right over here. And it gets blasted across your living room or your office. You can see there's an opening. I don't know if you can see the opening right there. Hard to tell. Anyway, there's the cell phone holder from the top. No batteries, no software. It never crashes. Solid as a thing of wood. I mean, it's handmade with Creston sourced wood, handmade by Marshall Thompson. He brands his name in there. Handcrafted by J. Marshall Thompson right here in Creston. And Jen wraps these up. We autograph them. Jen and I will autograph them on the top for you if you'd like. Uncle Bruce and Jen, we'll give you autographs. And we mail them out in $60 US, includes shipping. We will have a bunch of these, although we're quickly running low on these. We got about 2 dozen coming in, we should have them by the end of next week. And so the orders will go out. First order received, first to get. So if you're interested, send us a donation through PayPal and then tell us what you want us to do. Yes, please autograph Uncle Bruce and Jen. Please give us your autographs. Here's our address. Give me your address. What's your mailing address? Type that into your message. Send us the donation, $60 American dollars. And we'll fire one out to you. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody. If you want a sextant logo instead, you want one of my Traveling with Bruce versions, you can do the same thing. There it is right there. Fantastic. Again, handmade by handcrafted. You can see how he brands his name in there. And see, this is real wood. This isn't fake, Chinese artificial wood. It's the real deal. And it's solid, man. I don't want to hit my head. I'll hurt myself. Anyway, yeah, if you want one of those, by all means, send a donation to us, and we'll get them out to you. We'll autograph them if you like. And people love them. They just love them. We've sold dozens of these for the last 2 years through the other channel, TWB. From it with love. Yeah, got my mugs. Way to go, guys. I'm glad you're getting your mugs. Thank you. Bruce invented a dance in the 60s called the Frommer. Thank you. The mugs with the nee emoji somewhere in it would be a blast. We'll have to put something like that together. We'll work on that too. There are people who are abusing the COVID excuse, healthy young men calling in on Sunday night claiming to be exposed for the 20th time, but they go to the gym until they close the gyms. Support the OG. He deserves the credit. Okay. I don't know what that means. Thank you, everybody. I can't even recover my messages. There's been so many messages. I've lost them all. I got to kind of move on here. Sorry, guys. Sitting Bull, referring to the huge company that my husband works for, and he is their boss, and I hear the phone calls, lots and lots of it. I don't know what that means. Kirk, thank you. He's talking about being locked in. I bet that's a scary cry for help. Anyone here like the whatever? I don't know. Good morning to Tony. Dana Abdal, Amazon, Sitting Bull can speak for a situation. I believe there must be the same thing going on in other companies. Let's see. Kirk, Picard, or Bruce at the helm. I'm going with the Bruce. And let's see, Bruce. If I do a one-on-one private session, can look at this mole, and I've had it for a year.
Does this mole look suspicious to you?
Is this cancer or is this just a tumor?
You just have to get real close to the lens.
Thank you, everybody. Here's my classic.
You were going to say, "Here's my Jen."
Here's my Jen, my classic Jen. Thank you, Jen, so much. Fantastic. Yeah, want me to look at your mole? Oh my gosh, don't be showing me your mole. 3M phone call. What are those? Let's see. Tony, we fought for your freedom. We were relentless. Bruce had to release you. Good morning, Auntie Jen. I hear her now. In a year, I need you probably for information that I need for the second company. Their thoughts to go as in the new stock. I salute your fellow ape. What is that, Tony? I perked you up on that one. The Power Hour today, the Tony Liberation Army. And I wish I were more confident doing covered calls, but I just do not know the strategy on how to do the strike price and timeline intentionally. We can do that. We can help you with that. I can talk to you about how to write options if you like. Hi there, Jen. Good morning, Jen. Shrug clap. Seems like IPO and CLV are being beaten down together. IPOE 1572 up 85 cents now on 960,000 volume. IPOE is at the high of the day right now and climbing. GameStop 158.05 down 47 cents. Jan is saying hi, Jen. Colin, starting to smell like toasted success in here. Good morning, Jen. Hi, Jen from Pin. Dana, Sit and Bull is amazing how bold they are. They should have lost their jobs, but now they're companies and desperate for people. Very rigorous, sometimes dangerous job. How does Motley Fool get to continue masquerading as a magazine when they're a hedge fund? You got to wonder, huh? Ashley, good morning, Jen. Olivia, good morning, Apes. Hi, Jen from Shane. Olivia, good morning. Hi there, Jen from Olivia. Mark, how does Motley Fool get to do that? Who here told me about whatever? Fancy Bruce, cinnamon roll. That's just funny spelling of a bagel, isn't it? Bruce, living the high life as a YouTuber. Mark, Blue Skies. They use fool. They use fool in the title. Fancy prices for Fancy Bruce. If Bruce is uncle, does that make her Auntie Jen? Cinnamon roll slap. $18 for coffee and a cinnamon roll. Whew, yeah, 2 lattes, 2 homemade cinnamon rolls with taxes, 18 Canadian dollars. Is cinnamon roll French for waffles? Olivia's laughing. That be me. IBM, says Bomba Babe. Coin entering the buy zone. Reddit. Are you spending our Tesla donations on these ins and on rolls, Bruce? Are you? How dare you spend the Tesla money on coffee and rolls? No, that's coffee and roll money. That's what that is. What can I say? My 140 call, Bruce. A cinnamon roll is just a fancy rolled bagel. I got IBM at 123. Nice going. That's an upgrade. Tim Horton says horrible cinnamon buns. Jelly, says Dan. Wait, says Shane. JJ Gun, Canadian dollar though. I want that purple stuff. Bruce is eating a bagel. Time for GameStop to surge. 158.40 on GameStop. What will it do when Bruce eats his bagel? Will it go higher or what? The Dow is up 166. S&P is up 15. NASDAQ up 41. We got a good market going on the big 3 markets there. 158.20. It's bagel time. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Oh, yeah. Butter. Bagel. AMC 950. 946 up 18 cents. VGAC, VACQ up 10 cents. NAV Site Holdings up a penny. IPOE up 78 to 1565. Right on. GameStop low volume. We're at $158 a share right now. Kyle, got your order for us for amp. Got it. Just hit. Sold as a thing of wood. I'll take 10 of those, please. Oh boy. 158.12 on the stock. I want that fake artificial Chinese wood, please. James, got my amp in the mail yesterday. Sits on my desk on my boat. Thank you. Bruce's symbol, BAGL $. There we go. Elon just tweeted, we're living on a simulation. Wake up. Buy 2 of those headphones, strap them onto your ears for your morning power walk. My 2 autographed ones are coming. Tony, got your order, Tony, for an amp. Just saw it hit on my PayPal account. Thank you, Tony. That's another one gone. Nice to see how Bruce face lightens and cheers up when Jen says good morning. Forget about the GameStop movie. Let's do Bruce and Jen bagel up. The most entertaining outcome is most likely. Click designs just under his name. You had me at Bagel Love. The bagel, love the bagel. We love the bagel. We love the jelly. We love the bagels. It's not a tuma. We love the bagels and the jelly. Hi there, Jen's Hands Magic. Bagel time. Hi, Auntie Jen. Bagel. Just in time to watch Bagel Time with Bruce. Oh, yeah. 158.50. Let's go, GameStop. Let's go. Bagel lovers of the world, unite and take over. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. $163 on the Dow, up 163. Very good. Oh my. Oh man. Does he have bacon on that bagel today? Butter bagel, no maple syrup. Margaret, we got it. We got your donation, just kicked in. Margaret Graham, you're good to go. Tony Duke, gotcha. And Kyle, thank you, Kyle. Thank you. We got it. Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much. Where am I? Here we go. Okay. Following the market here. GameStop, 157.90. Going the wrong direction. 1/4 of the bagel left to go. We're going the wrong direction on GameStop. IPOE now is up 81 cents to 15.68. Having a very good morning here. Bagel time. Send you an email with a letter, better link to your store. Still, your store just takes you direct to the designs. Okay. Mug ordered. I just saw that order come through. Bruce, my fridge says thanks you for fixing up our relationship, stating I don't feel so lonely anymore, and I know you'll come to see me after Uncle Bruce Bagel time. Laugh out loud. Oh man. Hologram, have costs gone up that much more? That was on the sidewalk across from the giant old cinema. Watch the Star Trek movie where they come back with a whale to save the earth. Maple syrup in coffee is better than sugar. Oh my gosh, I guess. Okay. 158.38. No change on the GameStop so far. Dow's up 173, S&P up 14, NASDAQ up 30. I'm just here for the food. What a boring day. I fell asleep, slipped off my desk, fell, accidentally bought 10 more shares. Jay Ray loves that. Alfred, honey and coffee is epic, gives you a real kick too. Maple syrup is an ingredient that equals game changer. Does anyone know if the U.S. and Canada, if I claim that I am increasing the company's liquidity, can I print synthetic cash and use it to pay my bills? There you go. Good luck with that. It can happen. Just be careful. I'm just here for the food. GameStop trading sideways. Aaron, this is the way. Go downtown for even higher prices. What can I say? We're down 223 on coin at 318. GameStop down 15 cents to 158.38. AMC 957 up 29 cents. Vector Acquisition up 9 cents. Navside Holdings up 2. IPOE up 82 cents to 15.69. Gores Holdings up 8 cents. It's turned around. It was down 50 this morning. It was at 11.41 this morning. It's now 12.03. Gores has come up 60 cents since in the last half an hour. Gores is on the move. VG Acquisition 9.90 unchanged. SVAC 9.90 down a penny. Fortress 9.94 down a penny. Waiting for those to go to. Vanek up 278. Home Depot up 249. IBM up 340. Dow up 180. Microsoft up 73. Apple down 88. Tesla down 382 a share. Bed Bath Beyond up $1.27. 26.48. Royal Caribbean up 245. Norwegian up $1.85. And Carnival up 93 cents. So the markets are higher, definitely higher for the most part. GameStop now 158.63 up a dime, just flatlining right now, watching to see what it's going to do. Bruce, you've made my mornings and afternoons so much better. I've turned friends onto you. Really fortunate to be a part of this group. Thank you, kind word, very kind words. Thank you. A mug with Uncle Bruce's mug on it. You have entered the bagel zone. Was as a broker, was there ever a stock you specifically were against, but the clients bought it anyway? That's how you know you've made it, when you have professional experience and people don't listen. Laugh out loud. Just trying to think about this way back when in the day. For me, 40 years ago, 35 years ago, I do remember there were certain clients that I had who, I would have come across over the years who were self-reliant. I mean, they knew what they wanted to do and when they wanted to do it. They wanted to utilize my services to execute trades. There were some clients who would just give me orders to certain buys and certain sells, and we would just execute for them. I've never had a scenario where I can recall someone, wanting to buy something that is absolutely dangerous as get up. I do remember, I do know of many times where a client will call me and say, I just heard a rumor on this company. Can you check it out? I would then make a few calls, talk to the client a second time. The client would tell me what they're hearing, where they're getting the news from. I would go, back to work, do some more digging, check with my floor contacts, other contacts that I had anywhere. And there were times I could confirm information. There would be times that I could confirm rumors that are out there, but I couldn't substantiate them. There were times where I would hear opposite information that my clients were getting, or I would get very disturbing details about the company's situation that was not good. For example, I would find out maybe that a client of mine would be getting information through friends who thought they were getting inside stuff, when in reality they were hearing from a promoter, a stock promoter, who was, giving them this so-called hot tip, where in reality this particular promoter had been all over town, in all over Alberta, all over in Edmonton and Calgary and elsewhere, promoting the stock for weeks, and only now were some of my close contacts hearing about this rumor, when in reality there was no rumor. There was nothing really going on. The company had hired, or the president of the company or someone involved with the company had hired a guy as a promoter to get the stock promoted and exposed and get more name recognition. But there were times where there were some penny deals out there, really scary, shaky penny deals, where I would have a client call me up and say, I think I want to buy 10,000 shares of this stuff. It's like 10 cents a share. I just heard about this hot stock. And then I would do some research and go, well, it's been between 7 and 15 cents for the last year. And my client would say, well, let me pick me up 20,000 shares at a dime, and let's watch this for a couple of days. If nothing happens, I'll just dump it out. And then I'd buy it for him, knowing that this is what you want me to do. I'll do it for you. But then I would do some digging on my own above and beyond that after that. And, we would hear the rumor mill, and we'd see the stock go 12 to 15 to 18 cents, 20 cents. And I would tell my floor trader, let me know if a wall of selling shows up somewhere, because it's only a matter of time when the promoters themselves will want to get out and they'll want to cash in on this move, because they probably bought a block of stock at a dime from someone within the corporation. Maybe they literally bought some of the president's stock or the president's wife's stock or a friend of the president. They bought a block at a dime to promote the thing to 30, 40, 50 cents, where other insiders will get out up there, turn around and put the dough into the company by exercising 10 and 15 cent options that they've got to try to fund their company through a promotion. This is a reverse financing, but this gets done from time to time. And then I would get a call from my floor trader saying, oh yeah, there's I can tell you right now, so-and-so over there, the floor trader that represents those guys, he's sitting on 1 million shares to sell. He's selling 1 million at 30 and higher. Anything over 30 cents, he's got 1 million shares to feed in without letting the market know that he's feeding it out. But he can tell, he knows what's going on. And sure enough, stock would have no trouble going from 10 to 12 cents to 15 cents to 18. The next week it's 20, 24, 26, and it gets to 28, and it gets to 30, 32, 33, but it doesn't go from 30 to 40 as fast as it went from 20 to 30. It takes a lot more buying to move that market. And sure enough, this guy over here is slowly feeding out blocks of stock into the willing market. And I'm telling my guy, you're done. You're in at a dime. This is trading at 33 to 34. It's time to take a walk, because there is a resistance level over here that cannot be denied. And so most of the time my clients would do what I tell them, and we'd get out. And other times, though, they would get in so late. They would get in at 28 thinking it was going to $1, and it was only ever going to go to 30, 35, and they never made enough money to pay their commissions. And they would get out at 30 or they would get out at 25 and lose a little bit. And I tell them, you're too late to the party. But there would be companies that would literally do these kinds of deals, promotional deals, to move a market up so that insiders could sell stock to then raise cash, turn around and use that cash to buy more stock from the treasury of the company at a much lower price because they're insiders. And that would fund the company with enough money to pay another 3 months rent of overhead and the phone bill and listing fees and whatever, as they're trying to, make a mining deal happen or get involved in an oil play that's going to take 6 months to play itself out, and just all kinds of promotional deals going on all the time. The best promoters were the guys that could move a market from 10, 20 cents to a buck and a half, because these guys would get hundreds of thousands of shares of buying going in a stock on the way up. And they personally would offload stock at a buck a share, 50 cent, 80 cents a share, buck 10, buck 20. They would make themselves $100,000 over like a 3-month window. And they would assist in getting hundreds of thousands of shares off for other insiders who, illegally are using this method. But because there was just not enough evidence to convict, these deals would get, side deals would get done, or stock would be sold through nominee accounts. There were shenanigans always going on from the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even now. But sometimes money would find its way into the treasury of the company. Many times it wouldn't. It wouldn't find any of the money would find its way into the treasury of the company. Money would find its way into the pocket of the insiders of the company, who would now use that to pay their Visa bills, their bar tabs, their betting debts, their IOUs, take care of their mortgage debts, their car payments. All of a sudden, oh, look at that. The vice president of this little mining company is driving a brand new BMW. Look at that. Got himself a nice, shiny car. How did he do that? The company isn't making any money. Well, he blew off $50,000 worth of stock, maybe $100,000. He used 40, 50 to get a Beamer back in 84, and is driving around town in a nice new shiny car until the next promotion. And then there were promoters who would be promoting stock A for 3 months, then stock B for 3 months, stock C for 3 months, back to stock A again, back to stock B, and it would be a constant wheel of fortune of this promotion, trying to find new brokers and new clients to buy into these deals that had no business being anywhere. But these were 10 to 50 cent promotions, 10 cents a share to 50 cents a share, and we'll do it again and do it again. There were always gamblers willing to take a shot at 22 cents to 32 cents or 15 cents to 40 cents. They would be, oh, I've doubled my money. I'm a genius. Yeah, well, this time you got lucky. This time you weren't the last guy in, and you were able to get out. But many a time I would have friends of mine that were brokers, out at other firms over the years I got to know, and we'd all, once in a while compare notes and how you doing, or we'd hear the rumor that brokerage house so-and-so is all over two particular oil and gas stocks, and they're drilling a well with another couple of oil companies out somewhere, 300 miles from Calgary. And if the well comes in, there could be some real nice payoffs, because this could spur 10, 20 more wells to be drilled all around this well. You got a little oil field, and that's what people are always looking for, the home run ball. But the promotion of the stock would be over weeks and weeks and weeks. And you literally had insiders of the company selling their stock, just offloading it, knowing that the chance of success of the well was 1 in 10. Even if the well was successful, they didn't have the money to drill a second one. They needed to offload paper on the hype of this first well to bring enough cash in to be able to fund a second well or a third well or another exploratory well in the middle of nowhere over here if this one comes up dry. And so you had all kinds of promotion going on, heavy duty promotion. And I, as a manager, would desperately try to keep my brokers calm and keep them away from really wild stuff like this, because it's 1 in 100 that had any hope. And it was a rare day indeed where a well would deliver the goods. Normally, the money was made on the way up. On the promotion, it was all made on the way up, and these issues would get to $1.25, $1.50, and a whole bunch of the insiders and promoters were offloading for the last week and a half from 130 to 150 or 110 to 150. They're getting out. They're getting out. They're getting out. They're getting out. And they're taking hundreds of thousands of dollars from this brokerage firm, this brokerage firm. They're selling everywhere. They're using nominee accounts everywhere to try to hide their identities, trying to raise cash everywhere and gathering it up. It takes 5 days to settle. And you can tell towards the end of a promotion when the buying just doesn't come in anymore, because these guys aren't making any more phone calls and taking guys out for drinks anymore. And they've cashed in their money. They've long ago taken checks out of these brokerage firms for settlement. And they've run with the dough to wherever their bankers are, and they're paying off IOUs everywhere. And there would be the bag holders, and the bag holders were the clients and the customers and the brokers who are sucked in by these guys way too late, way too high, who had never had a chance to get out alive. And these are the guys with hundreds of thousands of shares on their books, over dozens of accounts each, and now they've got explaining to do. And a lot of these brokers would lose clients who would, just go, "You sucked me into a crap deal," or the word would come out over time that the well was, was never going to make it, or the even if the well was successful, the odds were that it would be a 20 barrel a day producing well. It wasn't going to be a 5,000 barrel a day well or a 1,000 barrel a day well. And that the kind of production that you're going to get from the formation of the oil field that this well is part of is the kind of production where you need to drill 100 wells to make it pay. This little company could never afford their share of the cost of 100 wells. And there was never going to be a company maker here. But the hype was just insatiable. And when the stocks went from 14 cents to 17 cents to 28 cents to 34 cents, everybody wanted in. I mean, the hype just grew. And it was difficult to stop. And the winners were bragging to their friends how well they were doing, and more friends wanted in. And that's how the game went. Anyway, that's just welcome to the market. And so, as a broker, you're desperately trying to avoid this kind of a scenario where you can just hold people off from getting into trouble. Easier said than done. I'll tell you that right now. Not easy. Got myself killer breakfast prepared. Poached eggs on toast with sauteed greens and escabeche. Whatever that is. That sounds pretty good. AMC looks like it wants to go to $10. 961 up 33. That's all it's doing. IPOE 515.62 up 75 cents. GameStop 158.33 is where we're at right now. What can I tell you? Yes, the old deals, the old oil and gas deals, the old mining deals. There were always promoters, and there were always, guys doing this. How would those guys get away with it? Yep, if you have billions, you'd always get away with it. Bribe officials. I will be in jail if I did that. These are the days where it's a lot different than now. I remember one guy. He was a stock promoter, and he had literally in the trunk of his car, he had a suitcase. He had one of those. He had one of those really expensive cases that lawyers have. It looks like a suitcase. It's a rectangular leather suitcase with the lid that flipped open. And then inside would look like an accordion in there, and had accordion files. And inside this suitcase, which had a combination lock on everything else, inside the suitcase were probably 3 million share certificates, like 3 million shares of stock of probably 5 different companies inside the suitcase, where this promoter had made deals with insiders of these publicly traded companies. And these are all companies have been around forever. They were a gold mining company 10 years ago, and they went out of business or regurgitated themselves 8 years ago or 2 years ago, tried to become something else. That didn't work, and they rolled their stock back, did new share issuances, and tried to become a mining company for the third time. And this guy would be sitting on share certificates from 1,000 shares to 5,000 shares to 10,000 shares, just like money, just cash, so just these printed certificates. And the guy would try to get investors into these stocks, publicly traded companies, and he would try to get guys in either privately or through a broker or any way he can to get them to buy into stock. And you know, he would find, I don't know how he'd do it, but he would find someone at a bar or you know, wherever, and would start talking to you know, someone in a suit, and the next thing you know, the guy in the suit has got like $3-4 grand lying around looking for a hot stock, and the guys start talking stock, and the guy in the suit doesn't realize he's talking to a promoter, stock promoter, and the promoter is sitting there sizing this guy up and trying to figure out how smart is he, how knowledgeable is he about the markets. And what the promoter would try to do is sell the guy stock literally out of the trunk of his car. I mean, what he would do is he would, you know, get to know the guy, hand him his card. His card would be, you know, like Joe Schmuck, you know, Diamond Investment Company Limited or whatever he called himself. And he's just a stock promoter, but he had this, you know, fancy name. And he would have an office in a tower, in an office tower in Calgary, but it wouldn't be his own office. He'd have an office, one of those executive center type offices, you know, where you share a receptionist. You have an office that you rent by the week maybe or by the month. The rest of the office is used by 10 other entities. And the guy would have a desk there, and it would be kind of a business address. And he would use that as his corporate address for mail, courier drop-offs and stuff. And he would size up this individual, and if the individual, you know, was always was kind of interested in a hot oil and gas deal, he'd have a hot oil and gas deal in the trunk of his car. He's got 5 or 6 different stocks he's promoting. One of them is an oil and gas deal. And so he would size the guy up, and these guys, these professional promoters, they would work weeks and weeks and weeks on their victims. Slowly talking to him about different stuff going on out there. He might introduce him to a broker. He might introduce him to, the guy doesn't have a stockbroker, he would introduce him to a stockbroker. And the stockbroker would open an account for the guy. And then the broker is a buddy of the promoter. And the promoter brings in client after client after client. And these brokers realize that sooner or later, the guy's going to buy into some of the stock that this guy's selling. And you know, down the road, he might not have a client much longer, but he'll make a lot of commissions in the meantime. And there are times where they'll set a guy up for an investment, you know, into a deal, but they'll put him into another deal first, and they'll put him into a stock deal at 15 cents, and the stock will go to 25 cents, and then he'll sell it. The broker will get him to sell it and make a quick 40%, 50% profit on a deal. Well, now this investor is excited. They want to throw more money into the pot, and here comes the downfall. And so the investor, you know, puts in more money, and then he gets 5 buddies that he has, and they all open accounts with the same brokerage firm, and they all put money in. They all get into a second deal that the promoter puts them into, and that one goes from like 30 to 40 cents to 50 cents back to 40 cents, and they all sell that. They all make a little bit of money on a second deal. Now these 5, 6 excited investors get 5, 10 each. Now you get 50 investors, all with this broker, and now the setup. And here's where you got these guys with all their dough sitting there because they're not going to take the money out. They've rolled it over a couple times, and now they want to really get into it. And the big setup happens where they all get sucked into a 50-cent stock deal that has the chance of going to maybe 60, 70 cents, and it's all over. But they're thinking it'll go to $5. And the promoter bought the stock himself at a dime a year ago through private placements when the company was nothing. And he's delivering paper to his broker friend or to another brokerage firm where he has accounts set up to sell his stock. He delivers stock out there, and then he's feeding paper out into the market while these 50, 60 victims are jumping all over each other to get into this 30, 35, 50, 55 cent stock. They're buying it up to 55, 60 cents. They're buying hundreds of thousands of dollars worth. There's momentum from the rest of the market that's watching the stock go crazy. They're coming in behind it. This promoter is promoting it everywhere he can through all of his contacts. And what is he doing? He's offloading 1 million shares. And there's $500,000 in his account. and it might be $100,000 accounts all over the street in different cities. He's not even in the same city. He's dealing with brokers that don't know each other, and he's offloading paper through all these houses, and these victims are all buying in this one concentrated area, and the stock is the darling of the exchange for 2 weeks because it's very actively trading back and forth. And some of these 50 victims are making money, and some are just breaking even, and they're all excited, and they're all jumping around each other. And after a while, the momentum stops, and it gets very quiet. And the promoter is cashed out, and he's got himself the $500,000. He's now taken 6 months off. He's gone to Mexico for 6 months because he's scored himself a $300,000 gain or a $400,000 gain. The public company, they're happy. Their shares have gone up into the 40, 50, 60, 70 cent range. They're offloading stock into the market themselves to raise cash off the back of the promoter's work. And they're either taking care of their own bills or they're trying to exercise stock options to fund their company. And all these folks are holding the bag at 50, 60, 70, 80 cents a share, 90 cents a share. They got all this stock. It's trading at 40, 45 cents a share, and there's nothing going on. And the promoter's long gone. And I, as a branch manager, had to look out for these guys. I had to keep finding this stuff. And every month we'd heard of another deal, and we'd find out, oh, that's what this guy did. Listen to this story, and we hear another story about another shenanigan deal. And these are the days when certificates were paper certificates. Sometimes the promoters would say to the customer, when you get your stock, order your stock as share certificates and register it in your name. And put it in your drawer, and don't let the broker hold it. Keep it to yourself. And when the time comes to sell, you can deliver your certificate to your broker at that point in time. Well, that was a trick to get the stock off the market. And so they would buy the stock, fully paid for, order the paper. About a week and a half later, they'd get their certificate, and they put it in their drawer. And they would say, just wait now a month or two for the big payoff, and then it never happened. And by the time that was all over, these guys would go back to their broker with their paper, their stock certificates, sign it over to put it back into street form, and they try to sell it. They get 10 cents on the dollar for it because the promoter's nowhere to be found. He's nowhere around anywhere. And these guys are out thousands of dollars each, and they're too embarrassed to, tell their friends or report it or whatever. Others just, well, easy come, easy go. I gave it a shot. It didn't pan out, not knowing they were victims of a promotion. All kinds of games going on. Oh my gosh, I've seen it all. Is there a reason I have no hair on the top of my head? What can I say, folks? That's what we used to have to deal with back in the day. Unreal. But anyway, thank you for being here today. I hope you don't mind some of these horror stories. What a story. Yes, SEC issued a kind of guidance that would satisfy SPAC warrants as liabilities of equity investments. Please speak on what this means. Love hearing this bag holder story, Bruce. I love this stuff. The SEC came out with the SPACs to say to them that you had to restate your warrants. There's rumors to that effect. It didn't have anything. It doesn't have anything to do with the SPACs that we're following. There's other rumors about the SEC saying to the SPACs, when you announce your merger with your company, do not be too overly optimistic in your forecasts of what you think you can do with these things. Again, the SPACs that I've recommended to you guys to keep an eye on, these are entities that have passed the smell test with a whole bunch of investors, including Wall Street firms, hedge funds, and pension funds. They've done their due diligence on management of the private companies, the stock issuance program, the business of these companies. They visited the companies themselves with their reps to check out their businesses, and then they put money in. So I kind of like the solid nature of a lot of the SPACs that I'm recommending to you. But there's a possibility that some SPACs out there who've gone out at $10 a piece are trying to do deals with private companies, and the private companies are too tiny to really be taken public. And it does happen from time to time where the SPAC guys want that private company to come in there and they want to promote the stock to the world, and they come up with stuff like, well, last year the sales were $2 million. This year we expect them to be $25 million, and next year we expect them to be $400 million. Well, that's a little bit of a stretch, but people who are in the hype business will get into the hype. But those deals won't get any Wall Street backing. They'll only get the money from the SPAC, from the trust company. No additional money will come from anywhere else. I avoid those deals. That's what I try to stay away from. Anyway, we have a kind of a sea of green here on the SPACs right now. Most of them are ahead of the curve right now. The Dow, by the way, is up 177. No, 199 on the Dow. Pardon me, up 199. S&P up 16 and NASDAQ up 41. So we're at the high of the day right now. Vector Acquisitions is up 18 cents to 1073. Navside Holdings up a penny to 988. IPOE up 79 cents to 1566. Gores Holdings up 6 cents to 1201. VGAC up a penny to 991. Fortress up a penny to 996. A Starboard Value, the only loser, down a penny at 990. All the SPACs are green except for one. Not a lot, but a little here, a little there. That's what we are seeing right now, and we're running with it. GameStop right now is 158.17, down 36 cents. On volume today of 1.6 million shares. We are talking really quiet volume today on GameStop. The low of the day for GameStop today, 155.95. That was the opening. We're at 158.17. So we're about 222 ahead of the low. The high, 162.98. And so we are about 470 behind or 480 behind the high of the day at this point. 158.19 is the price right now on GameStop. There you go. There you go. Loving these horror stories. Get those thumbs up for Bruce. We come for the advice. We stay for the stories. Tales from the Bruce. Bruce is the stock keeper. So what's the difference between a weed broker and a stockbroker? Absolutely nothing. Bruce, is it possible for hedge funds and other whales pump and dump other stocks to keep this GameStop squeeze from happening? No, no. Whatever they do with any other stocks that they're following will have nothing to do with GameStop. No. There's no effect at all. Uncle Bruce knows how the sausage is made. I had a guy on StockWits tell me that Uncle Bruce's information is not due diligence. I told him that I have watched and listened, and I know that the Bruce is genuine. Thank you. StockWits equals name checks out. Rabbit, Sitting Bull, I think it's splitting hairs, but you're not sure if this is considered due diligence. Advice or education, yeah, but due diligence, maybe not. It's just history. All my stuff that is normally down is up today. DE SVAC is on sale today. Rabbit, I concur. Sitting Bull, due diligence. What does that mean exactly? You investigate and think and listen. You have to find sources that you trust and prove to yourself that they can be trusted. You can trust CNBC, not me. What can I say? How many damn stonks is Citadel shorting? We don't know. Who knows? They're a big outfit, trillions of dollars under administration. In the old days, there were always shenanigans. There were shenanigans in the 50s and the 60s, different kinds of shenanigans in the 70s and the 80s. We in the brokerage business, we tried to stay on top of the shenanigans and keep an eye open. We were always getting warning letters or warning notices from our head offices, our compliance officers. We would always send out warnings to our other branch offices from stuff that we're hearing about. I would call the branch manager in Vancouver and talk to him about, hey, do you know this guy? Have you heard of that guy? Do you know that guy? And he'd ask me the same thing, and we'd figure out who's doing what. And we knew that the really heavy-duty promoters, they had surrogates everywhere with corporate accounts, holding company accounts, friends and relatives had accounts for them to trade in. There were just all kinds of ways to try to hide trading and pull off swaps and stuff. We saw it all. We would get a certificate come in to the house, and would be a 50,000 share certificate would come into our branch. And unlike a dollar bill, when someone gives you a $20 bill, you don't know who held it last because it's just a $20 bill. But a stock certificate in street form could well be delivered to a Merrill Lynch office, and they're putting it into their system. They punch the back of the cert with their stamp on it, received at Merrill Lynch on this date for their records, and then they put the stock cert in their vault in the downtown banking system, and wait to see what happens. Now, sometimes nothing happens, and a month later, 6 months later, the stock certificate gets brought back and gets delivered to another brokerage firm. And Merrill didn't do anything with the cert. And it comes to us, and we take a look at the back of the cert and go, oh, it was in Merrill Lynch 6 months ago. They got it. And 2 months before that, it was at such and such a house. And now we got it. Well, who's depositing this cert? Oh, it's a client through that broker over there. It's a so-and-so client. The client owns, it's a corporate account. And well, who's the principal behind the corporate account? And so my compliance officer, my manager, my cage manager, and I, we would look at our documentation on hand. We go, oh yeah, that's so-and-so is an officer of that company. And we kind of look at each other and go, that name sounds familiar. That seems familiar to me. I get on the blower to my Vancouver guys and say, hey, have you ever opened up an account that has any connection to this particular person, so-and-so? And the officer, the compliance officer in Calgary would call the compliance officer in Vancouver, and he'd come back to him and say, yeah, we just shut down 5 accounts that guy had last month. That guy had 5 different accounts in this house with one guy, one broker, 2 corporate, 3 personal, and there was his wife had an account, he had an account, his kid had an account, and 2 companies, and we shut them down because of all this monkeying around they were doing, all this shenanigans with buying and selling the same stock all over the place. We'd say, okay, well, we just received in this certificate from so-and-so. And they said, oh, yeah, they got kicked out of so-and-so 3 months ago. They got kicked out of Merrill Lynch last month. I guess you're next. I'm going, that's what the back of the certificate is telling us. This certificate has been around. They're trying to offload the stock from this certificate wherever they can, and now they've landed it on our desk. And so we would sometimes take proactive action and not accept the certificate. We wouldn't accept the business, or we would just close out the account, or we tell the broker, sorry, your client has already been kicked out of the firm in the other office. We can't accept his business here. Oh, okay. And then we would just send the certificate back to the guy's office and say, sorry, we can't help you. And then you have to try and go somewhere else. And that cert would end up in Toronto. It would end up in Hamilton. It would end up in Regina. It would end up in Prince George. It would end up in Edmonton, Alberta. It would end up in wherever. And they would try to find another way to offload it. All kinds of shenanigans going on. We had to really be on the ball to watch for all the cheating that was going on. A lot of potential cheating going on. Very, very scary stuff that we had to watch out for. Anyway, there you go. Bruce's DB Cooper. Anyway, there you go. The DTC keeps track of these things today. Not really. It's all digital now. But there are databases now that brokerage firms can use. And nowadays, you want to open up a brokerage account of any significant size, you have to you have to submit to credit checks, and they can do a lot of digging that way. So there's that. It was in the old days one of the tricks we used to use. Again, in our branch, we would try to find out if some guy would want to come in and open up an account with like $200,000 worth of stock, and we'd be going, that's unusual. We don't usually attract these kinds of clients. How come we got a client of this caliber coming in here? Who is this guy? What's going on? So we would do a credit check on our own. We'd pay for it, and we'd do a credit check or a background check, and we try to find out if there's something wrong here. What's wrong with this picture? And there were times where a gentleman would be moving from Toronto to Calgary. He's taking on a senior vice president role with company whatever, and is transferring his account from Toronto to here, but he's doing it in physical certificate form rather than electronic, because he didn't deal with us in Toronto. He dealt with another firm in Toronto, where he had 2 firms or 3 firms. He had 3 brokers, gathered up all of his certificates, got them into one envelope, couriered them to our office, because obviously a broker in our branch somehow found out about this guy. and is now becoming the broker. And so these certs would show up, and this account would show up, and a new account application would come in, and we'd check him out. And it checks out. The guy owns a $600,000 house here in Calgary that he just picked up last week. Has a job with company so-and-so. Everything checks out. So we're happy to have the client, happy to have their business, of course. But there were other times we would have a guy open an account with us with a holding company, and we do some digging, and we figure out this guy's been unemployed for 3 years. He hasn't had a job anywhere. What's he doing walking in here with 150 grand worth of mining stock for a little junior mining company out of Vancouver? Ooh, what's this all about? This would raise our suspicions. Our hair and our back of our neck would go up. And we'd do some digging on this guy, and we'd find out, oh yeah, he got booted out of a brokerage company in Vancouver. He got booted out of another brokerage company in Richmond, BC, and he opened accounts in Calgary with a couple of houses, and he's already behind in paying their bills. And we're thinking, we don't want to open an account for this guy. So I made it a point of, with my compliance officer, we turned away accounts that we didn't want. And my brokers hated me for that, hated me, because they were looking at me going, this is easy commission, man. The guy's dropping off 200 grand worth of stock. If I can sell this stuff for him, that's 6,000 in commission, 3% commission. I'm going, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's true. The problem is that he's not going to just sell stock through you. He's going to buy it as well. And what's going to happen here is this guy's going to sell 5 grand worth of stock and then buy 10 grand worth of stock. And now he's going to owe you $5,000. And he's going to, then he'll pay you, and then he'll do some more selling and some more buying. And over time, he'll sell off all of his paper that he's blown off. And then he'll have large positions that he's purchased. And it'll get to the point where he owes you $30,000. And all the stock in the account is worth $60,000. And he doesn't pay on time. And the stock that he owes you for is going down in value to $50,000 to $45,000. He owes you $35,000 against it. Now we go out to try to sell this paper to cover the loss, to cover the non-payment, and we're only getting 15 grand for this stuff because it is falling off the table so fast. And now we're short 20 G's. And you can't reach him. He's not answering your phone calls. You go to the office that he used to have downtown. There's nobody there anymore because that was a temporary executive office, and he's long gone. This guy took advantage of you for tens and tens of thousands of dollars and other brokers at the same time, and he blew town with 150 G's, and he's going to try to set up somewhere else. And now you, the broker, you owe us $20,000. How are we going to get that off your paycheck for the next 6 months? How are you going to pay that? That's what I would try to stop my brokers from getting into. Not that easy sometimes. What can I say? Yeah, there you go. How did you know? Intuition, gut feel, due diligence, making calls, being around a while. You just, but then there were some slicksters out there that fooled all of us. So is it still a brokerage house's responsibility to keep a clean or a dirty house? Still a brokerage firm. Know your client. Know your client rule was the one we had to follow. Do you know your client really? I would ask my broker, okay, you met Mr. Jones over here. How'd you meet this guy? Oh, I was out last night with a buddy of mine, a friend of mine who has a job at so-and-so. And he introduced me to this guy. And he was telling me that he was giving him some really neat stock tips. And I got talking to him. He found out that I work here, and he gave me his card. And he called me up this morning. He said, I'd like to open an account with us. And he wants to open an account with me. So I did it over the phone with him. He did an account application over the phone. Of course, these guys know all the questions on the apps. They've done this a million times before. And they want to open up an account for a limited company that they just incorporated. It has no assets. It has no business. It has no nothing. And he's going to drop in a check for 10 grand to start things off and do some trading. And for a few months, he trades with this guy. Buys and sells and buys and sells. And always paying on time, never a problem. And then the day comes where he wants to get into a hot stock, and he's already convinced this broker that he is a hot shot. He has hot shot connections and hot shot, inside news. And he set this broker up to get a bunch of his clients into a deal. and he's buying into a deal. And the broker thinks he's the only broker he's got. Like, I'm the lead guy. And so the broker starts buying up stock on the street for his clients, and he's buying stock for the promoter as well. And the promoter's bringing in the money, and he's just buying. He's loading up his clients. He's loading up his clients. He's loading up his clients. And then a letter comes into the back office, for transfer out stock, and it's all paid for. And the guy wants to transfer out half the stock he bought to house so-and-so. And so it's done automatically within 24, 48 hours. And the guy is now selling this stock from there into the guys who are buying it here in this house. And the rest of the stock he has, it gets that transferred out somewhere else, and he's selling that, same thing. And now he's just offloaded all the stock that he's bought with his own money to this broker's clients and other brokers' clients. He's doing this all over the street. And these guys are cashing in their positions. And the next thing you know, he's in there at 20, 30, 40 cents, getting people behind him in at $60, $80, and he's the seller for the most part. And he's cashed out. He's made himself 50 cents a share on 300,000 shares, 150 grand in 1982, when a brand new car was 10 grand. He just made 150,000. You could buy a house for $80,000, a nice detached house, semi-detached house, for 80 grand. He just made 150 G's. It took him 6 months to set this guy all up, get him all rolled up, and then got him all into the deal. And he just walked away, and the account's got no assets, no liabilities. The broker's not on the hook for any money with this client. But this guy has now moved somewhere. Moved to Nevada. He's gone. And his clients, he's got 25 clients, 80 clients, 60 clients, all holding this stock. And there's no one to talk to about it anymore. It's like, oops, we're in trouble. It's how that game used to be done. What can I tell you? Compliance. I work in banking compliance. Certain customers just don't pass that smell test. Bruce is right. It's a gut feeling, and you know it when you see it. You just do. You just feel it. You can tell. They might be well dressed. They might be well manicured, well mannered, professional as all hell, but there's something about them. Yeah. 158.88 on GameStop. We're up 35 cents, guys. We're not going anywhere. It's not bad. It's just not great. 1.78 million. We're waiting for news from GameStop regarding the new CEO. Who's it going to be, and when will we find this news out? We're dying to know. We don't know. We're sitting here going, anytime, just tell us. Hopefully we'll know sooner rather than later. We've got very little trading, as I said, volume of 1.78 million shares. We have AMC up 24 cents to 9.52. That's much better. Vector Acquisitions up 20 cents to 10.75. NAV Sites only up a penny. Social, IPOE SOFI, the future SOFI, up 71 cents to 15.58 on 1.49 million traded. Very good. Gore's Holdings up 7 cents to 12.02. That has come up 50 cents from the low, at least 50 cents. VGAC unchanged. SVAC down a penny. Fortress up a penny. And VGAC is unchanged. Virgin Group, the Richard Branson Group, unchanged at 9.90 all day. It's been sitting at 89.90 all day, not going anywhere on 300,000 shares. I think we're getting closer and closer to that deal closing as well. The Dow up 137, has given up some ground. S&P up 18 points right now. NASDAQ up 75. And that is what we have. Headline in Market Watch. Businesses can't find enough workers. Many fear catching COVID-19 or prefer to live off unemployment. And that is happening here. It's happening in the U.S. It's happening elsewhere. It's not that they don't want to work. People do want to work. They love work. They love their friends and associates and comparing notes on their fantasy sports leagues and all the relationships they have. They're afraid of catching the virus, interacting with either coworkers or with customers of coworkers, and they would rather stay home and be safe. And I get it. In Ontario, in Canada, it's really bad. Here, it is severe. They are limiting car travel in British Columbia for us, telling us stay in your town and region. Don't venture out, please. We're begging you. Don't do it. That's the problem. The richest folks I knew were their favorite old coats covered in duct tape, laughing out loud. Irish cowboy, loud. And CNBC says interest in SPACs comes to a halt amid new SEC crackdown. Yet they're going up, of course. Travis, people don't want to work. Bruce, bunch of freeloaders that rather do nothing, stick their hand out. Travis, I don't think that's true. Sitting Bull, at Amazon, I have been tested free to me thrice now, 3 weeks negative so far. Thank goodness for that. And I hope it stays that way for you. That would be terrific. And I'm glad to see the employer doing this. This is good news. This is very good. GameStop down a dime at 158.43. Very quiet here today. Like I say, the Dow now up 149 on the morning. Not a lot to get excited about, but it's not a bad day. And that's the good thing. We had the negative day yesterday and the day before. We're stable today. We'll take it. We'll see what's going on. Okay. Other headlines. Let me see if there's any other headlines. Pfizer says it has uncovered counterfeit COVID vaccine distribution in Poland and Mexico. Is that scary? India's hospitals on the precipice of as virus surge endangers testing, ventilator, PPE, and bed capacity crisis in India. New Yorkers are using public transit at their highest rates in over a year. Things are improving there. Treating COVID-19 at home could soon be a reality in the UK as government steps up efforts. Coronavirus tally, global cases of COVID-19 top 143 million, and India counts more than 200,000 new cases for the 7th consecutive day. Yikes. William Morris parent Endeavor filed for an IPO again, and it's adding Tesla's Elon Musk to its board. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, what else have we got going on here? I don't know. We're going to watch and see what's happening here. I don't know. Lots to follow. We will be following it, and we'll see how the markets work for us, work for you. Hopefully, we'll see better things. Anyway, yeah, here we go. Let's check out this over at the Wall Street Journal. Let's see what we have here, if anything. Wall Street Journal. What have we got going on? Talking about the trial in Minneapolis, of course. Pfizer identifies fake COVID shots abroad as criminals exploit vaccine demand. Snarled supply chain trips up small businesses. This is happening in the United States. It's happening in the UK as well, and in Europe, unfortunately. IPOE just took a little dump. It's got as high as 15.78. It's now 15.38, up 51 cents, a little lower at the moment, but not much to get excited about there. Let's see. And executives wonder if their stock sell-offs were linked to Archegos. Interesting. Let's see here. Brazil's climate overture to Biden. Pay us not to raise the Amazon. Don't pay us money so we don't cut the Amazon down. How about that? That's what they want America to do. Give them money so we don't cut down our own forest. Wow. What can I say? Amazing. And interesting. Researchers uncover advertising scam targeting streaming TV ads, TV apps. Yeah, I can imagine. I get approached all the time through my email because the email is in my video. It's down below. You can always find my email. I get all these fake offers from advertisers that want me to advertise their product on my channel. They're all fakers. They're all non-existent entities. They're trying to get me to share information with them so they can steal this channel. It's incredible. It's so scary out there. I got to tell you, it's really scary stuff. Got to be on top of this stuff. Doing what we can. Anyway, there you go. Okay, we are going to get shut down here for a little while. It's 3 hours into the show. Thank you for joining me this morning. And thank you for all of you who are renewing your memberships today and becoming members of the channel. Thank you for those of you who put an order in for your very own cell phone amplifier today. We got about 3 or 4 of them in today. Thank you for that. Jen and I will autograph them for you and mail them out to you. They'll be going out in the next couple of weeks. So let us know if you'd like to have one. Send us $60 American on PayPal. Make a donation of $60 American with your name and address, and tell us you want the autographs of Uncle Bruce and Jen. We'll take care of that for you. Thank you. We'll see you this afternoon right here at 3 o'clock Eastern time when I come back on the air for the last hour of trading. Thank you also for 1,400 thumbs ups today. Thank you for that. Very kind of you to give me that many thumbs ups. Keep them coming if you can. If you haven't done a thumbs ups already, please consider doing one now before you say goodbye to us. And thank you for helping this channel get discovered on YouTube. It is very much appreciated. Absolutely beautiful, guys. Thank you so much. All right, that will do it. I think 158.67 on GameStop, largely unchanged today. And we'll see how it does this afternoon at 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and then we'll watch it till 5 o'clock. And we'll go from there, guys. Thank you, guys. We'll see you this afternoon. I appreciate it all. Beautiful. All of your comments, thank you very much. And Rabbit and all of you, thank you. I'll catch you today at 3 o'clock Eastern. Stay safe in the meantime, and we'll see you real soon. Bye for now.